Oh, it's actually working. This is Band of Badgers. This is our newest online only because we're in the UK. We're in isolation, and we're going to see how this comes together. We're playing a brand new game. This is session 1. If you check out YouTube, check out the channel. There is a session 0 where we're talking about bits and pieces, and we're going to be playing an Adventures League D&D title called Avernus Rising. We're going to give it the other go. Some of these folks you'll see on the screen. I'm looking at 2 screens, so excuse me if my head moves around. You would have seen on some of our other games. So we're trying to mix up the teams a little bit and see who's available and see who wants to play. And that's it, really. So we're going to get straight into it. Now, if you know Band of Badgers, you would have seen some of our stuff before. We've got a bunch of merch available, and you can pick that up wherever you like. There's loads of t-shirts and bags and all kinds of things. Now, we also have Gaming Emporium, which is one of our UK retailers. And if you use the code word BOB10, you'll get a 10% discount, which is always handy. Loads of bits and pieces, merchandise for Dungeons & Dragons. Plus, one of our friends in the UK, 3D&D, are a 3D printers, and they do loads of minis for us, and they've done loads of bits and pieces for us. But sadly, we're in isolation, so we can't use them. That's it, really. One of the other things you would have seen us have is the Eldritch Foundry custom mini giveaway. We have one of these. We are doing this again. We'll be doing these once every month for the time being, for the future, and it's a great bit of piece of custom gear. Just check out the website eldritch-foundry.com. Create a free account, create your mini, and away you go. And if you enter the code word of Doom into the comments below, in 2 weeks' time, we'll pick a winner. So just enter the comments below Doom. Now, you must be a subscriber on YouTube, so please leave a comment. And you'll get one. You will, honestly. Helen won last time, and it was great to see that. Okay, over to the stories. Now, we know this is the Avernus Rising campaign from Adventurers League. We've already had a session 0, so we've already talked about our characters. But you guys haven't met yet. We haven't actually started the game. So, is everyone ready? Any last-minute questions? No, everyone's ready. You can now talk. You are unmuted, apart from Mike. We don't want to listen to him anyway.
Very wise.
Yeah. So. The adventure begins. You were outside of the city of Elturel in all of your different positions, on your way to or from the city, and it all happened very, very fast. The orb that floats above the city of Elturel, which is called the Companion, turned black, and the city of Elturel was pulled into hell. Now, just as that disappeared and popped, the explosion to fill that void has what's overcome you. So a huge blast of dust and debris and bricks and bits and pieces of bodies and all kinds of stuff has just hammered into you, and you've all been knocked unconscious. So, Carnelian, you wake up face down, and your first reaction is you are covered in dust, bits of small stone, gravel, and as you try to clear the muck from your eyes, you still see it's a very hazy. The sun. It was daytime when it all happened. The sun is still trying to break through this cloud of deep fog of debris, and it's snowing ash. Every now and then, there's a thud as a bit of rubble kind of hits the floor, and it's muffled, but you hear cries and wailing of anguish and screams of terror and all kinds of being so near to the ground you can hear in the earth some kind of rumblings as footprints and footsteps are running past. What would you like to do?
Sit up, quickly, sit up. So sit up, stand up. And I look around and I look for my sister Cal. Cal, are you there? Cal?
I'm here.
No, you're not.
Try to do
You're not there. You're not
somewhere
there.
else.
You don't hear her, but what you hear is it's like that sound when you're kind of you're slightly deaf in your ears, so
like
that your
ear-popping.
voice is more in your own head. You look around where your sister, your twin sister, Calamity she's nowhere near. The last thing you remember is trying to protect her. You remember holding hands, and you or her were ripped out of each other's grasp. Looking at your surroundings, you don't quite recognize where you were with what you see around you. There are broken walls, houses have been demolished. That whatever this energy blast, boom, seems to have flattened everything around you. But your sister is not there.
So I'm screaming, Cal, where are you, Cal? And I start to run around, desperately looking. You know, I'm searching the ground for traces. Is there any signs of her anywhere? Any tracks?
Even though you see various tracks and bits and pieces, you see people lying unconscious, people potentially dead, laying in the ash or buried by the rubble. You stumble for a bit of a long time, kind of slightly dizzy. There's pain in your head, and when your hand comes back, it's a mixture of this ash and blood from a cut on your head. It's probably about 20 minutes as you stumble around, and in the distance you see a group of people. They're helping someone over. Every now and then someone will run across, help someone, put their arm around them and carry them back to this area. You see two people sitting on a wagon. One of them has the kind of look of your sister, but is completely grey. Not the look of what your sister had. Your sister had the purple hair. And next to her looks to be someone of potentially more elven kind in a robe, or robes-esque. Again, kind of just staring off into the distance, and this figure you believe to be your sister is just kind of staring at her feet, if anything. You can obviously see as you get closer, she's not even looking around. She's just potentially in shock of what's going on. Near the wagon of where you are, or walking towards, you see a little girl who's talking to people. People are kind of rowing over to her. They're bending down to listen to her, and she's pointing in different directions, and they go and run off. She sees you in the distance, points to you and someone else, and an older gentleman comes over to you with his walking stick, and he just takes you one arm around the waist very gently. He's stronger than he looks, and escorts you over to the wagon. The little girl tells him, "Goran, can you fetch him some water? He looks to be pretty parched." And he nods his agreement. He doesn't say anything, and he kind of waddles off. Finds a big barrel of water, and he fills up his cup, and he brings it over to you.
Where's my sister? Have you seen my sister? Have you seen her at all?
At this point, Calamity, you hear Cornelian's voice.
No. But Carl, I'm over here. Can you see me?
They're the Pakistani family, are they?
Meant to be West Country.
Yeah, that's right. And I run across. And I just basically just look and I check her and I say, "Are you all right? Are you okay?"
I'm not too good, but I think I'll get a bit better.
And I tip like some of the water from the cup, and I put it on on my sleeve, and I kind of like wipe her face to see if she's injured, and see if she's okay. Is she injured?
She's not injured. No.
What happened? Can you remember anything about what happened?
No, there was just a big bang, and I don't know. I think I'm just in shock. I just came to on this wagon, and I just don't know what happened. I was in the woods, so that's all I remember.
Yeah, we were chasing after Granny, and then there was just an explosion. There was such a noise. I'd never heard anything like it. And I reached out for you, and I couldn't hold you. And where are we? What is this? Have you seen Granny at all?
No, I haven't. I tried to check out from the wagon, but she wasn't here. It's just chaos.
There is a girl. Just before I found you, there is a girl over there. She seems to be taking orders. Shall we go? Shall we see? Cal, I don't know what
definitely.
to do.
Definitely, we'll go over to her and see.
Kin, you are
You may know where she is.
sitting next to Calamity on the wagon, so you can hear this discussion.
Excuse me. You two appear to know each other. Is that right?
I just looked very suspicious straight away.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know this area. I've travelled from Candlekeep, and I was heading into the city to take a job as a tutor. I'm not really sure what's going on, and I don't really know anybody, and it feels like at the moment, well, there's some safety in numbers. You said there's somebody in charge?
Yeah, I guess, but she's only a little girl. I don't understand it. She'd be tiny little girl. I don't know why. Yeah, she's over there somewhere. How are you sure you're all right?
Would you mind pointing it out to me?
And I turn around and I gesture to where I saw the little girl who tends to be in charge, or seems to be in charge.
Okay, so my ears are ringing, and the reason we can have this conversation, Dave, I assume, is that we're all close together, and you've got that sort of, thick-headed, disoriented feeling going on. So I'd like to use the message cantrip and direct a message at the young girl. Excuse me. So, that's my False 9 card. It's the arcane spell cards.
Good. Fair enough.
Subtly
Smooth.
Subtly done. That was.
Give me the giggles now. Anyway, excuse me. The person here. And I'll ask his name in a minute. I'm a bit socially awkward that way. He seems to think you're in charge. Is that true? You may reply to this message.
And you've sent that to Dara?
To the young girl, yeah.
To the little girl.
Yeah.
You do receive a message back. It be a young girl's voice. And she says, yes, I am here. And everything will be okay. That's it. That's all you receive back.
She says she's in charge, which is a bit surprising, which is good. It feels like we should be doing something as well. My name's Kin. What are your names?
Cal, do we trust him?
I trust him. I think we should tell him our names.
Well, I'm Carnelian, and this is Calamity, and she's my sister, and we're looking for our granny.
Jenny, we've lost Jenny. Our Jenny's gone.
She's an older lady, and she has how do I say it? An interesting smell. Anyway, she has a rat that runs up and down across her shoulders. You haven't seen her, have you?
Not recently. No. Is it somebody that I'd have seen before, Dave, that I would have remembered?
Yeah. Have you seen her before?
No, I don't think so. We'll say not. No, I'm afraid not. I tend to keep myself to myself, and living in Candlekeep, you tend to be a bit cloistered and isolated, and me taking this job as a tutor is a way of expanding my horizons, and the trip so far has been adventure enough, and of course what's happened now may be a bit too adventurous for me at the moment. I guess I'm still in a bit of shock.
What are you? Your ears are pointed.
I'm a half elf. A half elf. So my father was a human. He captained his own vessel. He was a dashing merchant, and my mother, well, she was an elf, obviously, being half elf. And the early part of my life, I was very happy on the deck and in the rigging, and I was always inquisitive. But unfortunately, there was an accident, and I may not want to talk about that at the moment, if that's okay. But there was an accident, and then I went to live at Candlekeep, and the monks treat me well, but it's not close family. So, as I say, I've always been a bit of a loner, but I'm a scholar. I'm a student of history and the arcane arts and religion, and
Is that how you did that
small
thing?
magical ability?
Is that how you did that thing with you spoke to? I saw you speak, but you were speaking to her and she was over there. Is that you can do that? Yes,
that's correct. Yes, that's one of my small magical abilities. That's an arcane spell called Message. It's useful. Obviously, really useful in situations like this where we're all a bit deaf at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. If only you had some kind of card as a reference.
Who would that be from?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. So, shall we go and see this little girl then, who might be in charge? See what we can do.
Might know where Granny is, so I think we should definitely go and see her.
Right.
I feel like we should be doing something, so I think that's a great idea. Would you mind awfully if I called you Carney and Callie? Is it okay?
I'd really
Fine.
object to that.
Oh, I like it.
just car, please. Just car. It's even easy. Car and Cal is what we call each other. We call each other Car and Cal.
I feel honoured then that you've accepted me so far into your family that I can call you by your own pet names. That's really excellent.
Just quick. It's just quicker. Right. So we run it. We charge across to Tripitaka. No, we charge across to Dara. Who I don't know is called Dara at this moment in time, but I go across to her and say, "You're in charge. You're in charge. You're very young. Are you in charge?"
So on the way over, you see that the little girl has wandered over to see, in between sort of two wrecks of wagons and bits and pieces. They try to seem to be repairing, putting the wheels back on and things like that, transferring sacks and bits and pieces from one wagon onto another wagon. In between the two wagons, you see there's a horse that's laying down, and attending to the horse is what looks to be, from all classic description, a knight. It would be in shining armor, apart from his armor is he's dented, again like the rest of you, covered in grey dust. obvious marks of blood, wear and tear, and he's just kind of he's very tender with the horse. He's brushing his head and his nose. He's kneeling down next to it. His helmet is off, and he's got this kind of long, flowing locks of hair. Doesn't he, Neville? And Dara is standing next to this knight with her hand on his shoulder, and she's gently talking to him. And Neville, what you hear Dara explaining to you is that she will tend to your horse. She will make him better. He has a nasty wound in his flank, and you, like everyone else, awoke after the explosion. You managed to find your horse and led him here before he just kind of finally collapsed. He's drenched in sweat and he's shivering, but Dara and the older guy with a walking cane, Gorin is his name, has managed to find you a blanket and you've got a couple of apples to feed the horse and some water from a big bowl. And she explains to you that we need your help. We need your strength, and we need you to trust us, and we need you to come back to us. There are many people still wounded, and as you've already heard some of the stories from the people who are coming over to us, they are not just finding the dead, but they are finding the dead also ripped apart. Some have bite marks. Some are screaming in terror that they've seen devils, if that is the right term. But we need you to do a search and rescue. We need the usual things. We need weapons to protect ourselves. Find any able-bodied people you can that you can trust. Find food and water, and bring any survivors you find back to the caravan.
So, if you can look after Binky, and save Binky, then by all means. My priority is to find my troop, but obviously, whilst there are so many injured and poor, we need to organise ourselves and prepare ourselves. So, I am at your request. If you have any ideas of where we can get these things.
Yep. She says, thank you. I know it's a big burden for you that you undertake this task. And she kind of leans down and she touches your hand. Her hand is much smaller than yours, and more delicate. And the moment she touches you, you feel warmth flowing through your body, and any wounds that you had are now gone. You've got full health. Blah blah blah.
I could go with small hands.
So, the best place to start. Gorin comes over, and Gorin knows parts of the town. So this is the outskirts of the town of Elturel. The best place for weapons obviously would have been inside the city and the city guard, but all that's gone. All that's left of the city itself is a massive crater. But on the outskirts of town, there are various outer shops. There were farmsteads. You've got the mill. There's also a blacksmithy, and there's a tavern and things like that on the way into the city that should be good places of shelter. I would suggest the smithy is probably the best place to go in terms of weapons. And at that point, you three turn up.
Here's three able-bodied people. Are you fit enough to?
Handy that.
Yes. Are you fit enough to come along and help. We're trying to find some supplies, and this young lady suggested that we try the blacksmiths. We obviously need some weapons. Obviously, I have my own, but we maybe be able to arm some of the others fitter injured and protect ourselves from what could be demons on the area.
Cal, what do you think? Shall we?
Sounds a bit dangerous, Carl, but I don't know. Will it help us find Jenny?
I will protect you with my life, young lady.
I don't think she needs protecting.
A knight of the Hell Riders.
Yes, well, she put me in a coma for a week.
He's right there.
Were you two struck down by this gale force wind?
we were. If we help you, do you think you could help us find our granny? She's a senior lady, quite big, and how do I put this? And quite mouldy in places.
What?
Have you seen her?
Big and mouldy.
Cal, how would you describe her?
Oh, she's a lovely lady, but yeah, she's grown up among fungi, so she's very withered old lady.
Is she undead by any chance?
No. No, she's very much.
Very much alive, but
very
much
alive. Very much alive. Some would say too alive.
Big and mouldy. Well, I definitely can't say I've seen her because I would recognise a large mouldy woman. But no, but yes, by all means, we will keep an eye out for her.
Right. Well, if they're going out, maybe we should go with them then.
Yeah, maybe. Let's go.
What about you, fellow?
I feel like I should interject at this point. So I've been trying to improve my social graces. So allow me to introduce myself. My name's Kin, and these are my very, very new friends, Car and Cal. He doesn't like to be called Carney. Just like to get that in there in case you want to shorten his name. Who might you?
I'm Neville Moore, a knight of the Hell Riders. I've been stationed away for a reason that we're not going to go into at this moment, and I was returning to my troop this very day when this gale force wind blew me off my horse, and I arrived here. I'm not quite sure what's happened to the city, but there's rumours that it's disappeared, which I find very odd. But our first priority must be to the injured and the weak. And if we can protect them and help them, then we should do that.
I agree. I would like to get a bit closer to the city and see if we can work out what has happened. So if going to the smith and finding some weapons and food gets that to happen, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around. Is there any usable carts?
No, not that you can see. They're trying to repair some. They're trying to. They've got people resting on the carts around you. They've only got 3 or 4 at the moment. They've been sent out to get more. Maybe if you find one on the way, that'd be handy.
Or there might be one at the smithy. So let's ascertain the direction from this young lady and then be on our way.
Now, Goran explains if you follow the east road, and you'll eventually come to the smithy, if it's still there.
Off, shall we go then?
How far is it? How far is it? Is it days? Is it weeks?
Hours? Minutes?
How far is it? How long will it take to get there?
It's only about an hour that way.
Okay.
No problem at all.
No, that's fine.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
So
You might be able to get the dents out of my armour as well whilst I'm there.
yeah, it only takes about 40 minutes, but the road is hard to follow. Again, lots of rubble, bits and pieces, and on the road you meet other people who are heading towards you, looking for help and shelter.
Well, we'll tell them that there's a group of people who are offering help. Carry straight on west on this road, and you will find them. Ask for Dara.
And they will say thank you, as they pass on. Everyone seems to be so in shock by everything that's going on. They're looking for kind of any help that they can get. Eventually, only about 40 minutes, you find an old building at the end of a dirt road, bordered by a low stone wall. And there's a sign that says Wellham's Smithy. Wellham's Smithy. As you approach, you hear a deep voice call out from the building. If you come to steal some more, you're going to have to go through me, boyos.
Hello, is that Mr. Wellham? Mr. Wellham, we're here to try and ascertain what's happened, and also try and find some help for the injured. We need to defend ourselves, and it's been suggested that you may be able to donate some weapons to arm the fitter of the injured, so that we can protect ourselves.
And you see, there's lots of bang, bang, clang, bang, bang, and a small dwarven guy steps out.
It's a dwarf, isn't it?
He's a dwarf, yeah.
Oh,
he's got his apron and he's got his hammer.
He's got no hope.
Yep. Well, I would have been good, but it's all my stuff has just been nicked. We've had looters round here. My boy Godric, he's got a nasty bump on the head, and Godric comes out behind him. Very kind of similar family features, but he's got this giant golf ball lump on his head. He's kind of rubbing that away. Well, there's like looking for all these boxes and trying to find bits and pieces that you can, and you hear him sort of shout and curse like, "They even took me beer! All my ale's gone!" He's trying to find bits and pieces in there, but you can't find anything. While you're talking to him, Cornelian, I keep wanting to say Cornelian. You see further down the path where you haven't been yet, out from the trees, you see a woman running towards you in complete distress. She's running zigzagging all over the place, slipping on the road, and she's calling out to you. What would you like to do?
I tap my sister and I say, "Come, look."
So you see this woman running towards you. She's screaming out for help, help, help. And she finally comes up to you, and she just rams right into your arms, Cornelian. She's begging you to help.
Hey.
And I just look at her, and I look at my sister, and I don't really know what to do with this woman who's in my arms.
The woman's obviously being punched.
Kind of pat her on the head.
Why she come to you?
The woman's obviously being punched. She's got a big bruise forming on her lip, swollen. She's got blood coming out. Her clothes.
She's injured, Cal. She's injured. Can you do something? Can you?
I may have some herbs. I could make like a bruising treatment for her if she wants. Are you okay?
Cal's looking through her bag. I'll step up and take the woman by the hand. No, my dear. It's okay. You're with friends now. This is my friend Carl and my friend Cal and my new friend Nev. And I've only met them today, and already we feel like we've made a close bond. And I've been alone for quite a while, and I feel much more comforted than I was. So please,
is it a fair
take a seat.
in distress?
Take a seat and we'll talk about what's happened now. What's got you so distressed? I'd like to use persuasion if I can and try and calm her down.
First roll.
Becomes a 1.
Nearly. That's 11.
So you don't help to you don't persuade her to calm down, but she manages to talk to you. She's looking at all of you, the two dwarves and you four there as well. Her eyes kind of linger on Neville for a fair bit because of the knight in shining armor aspect. And then she said I was attacked by 3 men that they look like bandits. They just took my purse and my stuff to the city. I heard that the big explosion. I've got family there. I'm just trying to get my way there. If there's anything that's what you can do.
We must chase these gentlemen down straight away.
That's not right. That ain't right at all.
No, that's not right at all.
Right.
What is your name, fair maiden?
My name is Vollis.
What?
Vollis.
Discussion.
Nice. Whereabouts was this? Can you show us where were you?
It was just down there that I don't know who they were, but they're all wearing this kind of cloak or robes, if that makes sense. And then the mention of the robe, Godric pipes up and says, "Well, do they happen to be grey and green and dishevelled?" And she's like, "Yes, that's exactly what they were." Someone's got a lot of background noise. There you go.
You just have to mime it, Paul.
Yeah, a lot of grey and green robes and bits and pieces. So he's recognised that as probably the same people who seem to have been looted his.
So what her name? Her name was Wallace.
Her name is Vollis.
Or Vollis, right. Now all laugh loudly, right? On 3, we all laugh, and Paul wonder what we're talking about. 1, 2, 3.
He can hear you. It's just he
I'd say
can't
it's
hear
muted,
you.
right?
It's only muted.
I've heard everything.
So funny.
She finished the washing up.
Right.
God.
So off we go.
Off we go.
So you're gonna go after these looters.
Is Vollis coming with us, or the dwarves?
No, she's staying with the dwarves. It's better that Willem sort of pipes up. He's got his bits and pieces. Look, I might be a smithy, and I know I'm a dwarf. I can throw a punch, but my accent's all over the place. So who knows? Yeah, but I'm not a knight.
Welcome to the world.
Yes.
Godric needs help. This lady needs help. I'll get them to the caravan, and you carry on.
Yeah, and take anything that you can find, any food, any tools that you have, anything you can carry, because we might need them later on, especially if you've got anything that can whack a few dents out of this armor.
No, good plan. He goes back to his shop and he brings up his wooden tool carrier thing. He puts that. So, yep, got that. Got my apron. Got my hammer. That's what I need.
Come on, fellow adventurers, off we go then.
I start to skip slightly ahead and see if I can see anything like tracks or marks or signs of a scuffle or something like that.
Okay. Do a investigation.
I shall follow behind Nev.
Yeah, I hold back.
Investigation?
No, I follow slowly behind everyone. Always watching.
16.
Okay, yeah. You see multiple tracks in the road, but you come across the area where Vollis mentioned, where she was attacked, and there's obvious signs of struggle. And again, she was quite right. There were 3 men who have assaulted her and taken her money, taken whatever she was carrying, and have moved off further into the woods.
Okay. Pull my short sword. Not both, just my short sword, and put it in my offhand at the moment.
Is that a
And
rapier
kind of
or a
gesture.
short sword?
Short sword.
Okay.
Light. Light property. And I just kind of gesture to everybody else where the tracks seem to head to.
Mhm.
I take my light crossbow out and load that.
Okay.
I will load my light crossbow as well, just in case.
Out of interest, what are our trades? I am a paladin of the Hell Riders. Well, what are you, ladies and gentlemen?
I live
I'm a
in the
scholar.
woods.
A scholar. Oh, are you of the magic persuasion stuff?
Yes, I have some small magical abilities.
That will very definitely come in handy. And you, young lady?
I live in the woods with my granny and brother.
The mouldy granny.
Live off the land. We live off the land.
We do. We live off the land. We live off the land. You do magic, Cal, though, don't you?
I do dabble in a bit of magic. I do like the magic.
I
You
just.
of a druidic direction?
Yes.
So plenty of nudity then.
Not quite. Not quite.
quite.
No. Very modest druid. I'm a very modest druid.
Just rumours I'd heard. That's what I thought.
Yes.
And you, sir?
I go around the woods. I track things, and I go off ranging here and there.
Well, that you would be definitely handy. So, yeah, if you would like to see if you can track our prey, our quarry, sir, that would be very handy.
They're over there.
He's already been tracking them.
He's very good.
Standing
Car
hand
is
to
very good. He's a very good tracker. Our car is.
Yeah. They're over there. I found them already. So yes, if you head up there, there's like a copse of trees, and no doubt they're hiding in there. How are we going to approach them, though? They're going to know.
We could ambush them. That sounds like something an adventuring party might do. I think I read about that in a book once.
Mm-hmm. I could.
If we can identify them first, so make sure that they are the correct ruffians.
Do you want me to scout? Would you like me to scout ahead and see what I can spot?
I think that sounds like
That's a good
great
idea.
idea.
Excellent idea, sir.
Stay there then, and I'll have a little look. So I want to try and sneak forward as far as I can, see what I see.
So as he reaches the sort of the edge of the clearing that the guys are in that is indicated, I'll cast message and say, "Have you seen anything yet? You may reply to this message."
Well, who have you sent that to?
To Cal. The car, not Cal. This is going to happen a lot. Okay, send it to Cal.
Even I get confused sometimes. Like, wait, I'm not Cal, I'm Cal.
Hang on, let me do something about that. Right. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I just made it worse by calling the wrong name.
Your car, aren't you? So you are there.
DM, did you want me to roll for my stealth or my advance?
Yes, you can roll for your stealth. I'm just setting up the map.
Okay.
So we can test how this will all play out.
Ooh, it's gone black.
Ooh. 18 plus 5. No, it's 18.
Right. Car. Can you check your battle map screen for me and tell me if you can see it?
I can. I can indeed.
Great stuff. Right. Let me switch. There's a hand. There's a hand. Oh, it's kind of working. Mostly working. I'm happy with this. It's kind of good. Okay. I don't know if this will work when I put that on, but let's try. Okay. So can everyone see the battle map?
We can, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Can everyone see Car?
Does it move up, or is
I
that
can see
what-
Car.
I'll show you. Don't worry.
Car's right in the middle.
Right. So that's what you see, Car. Everyone else is further down the road on the main path. It seems to be kind of a cliff face. And who's broadcasting this time?
It's me.
What appears to be an old, probably some kind of old temple, which is built into this kind of, let's say it's a cliff face. So it's a sheer cliff face, and you just see these two wooden double doors, space where there would have been windows, and you've entered into what appears to be almost like a statue garden. There's a few still noticeable broken headstones for some graves, but what you can see is what's on the map.
Okay, so if is north upwards, as it were? Am I facing north?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm rather exposed there. So if I could be like headed into the trees over to like the northeast, because I'd hug the tree line as much as possible. Thank you. And then I'll just hold there and I'll listen and see if I can hear anything.
Okay, do a perception check for me.
Ooh. 22.
You hear nothing.
In great detail.
Yep.
I hear nothing.
You hear nothing. You hear nothing out of the ordinary. Your senses, your clouded head has all kind of gone away. Your head stopped bleeding. You can hear things normally now. But the sound of the woods is starting to come back to you. You can hear birds again, which previously were silent.
Okay.
There you go. What would you like to do?
And I'll say, can you hear this? Is this how it works? I can't see anyone. There's doors which are shut. Do I carry on talking? What do I do? Goodbye. Goodbye.
So, Carl can't see anybody at the moment. He says there's some doors up there. Hold on, I'll let him know that we're having a conversation. So, Carl, yeah, that's exactly how it works. So you talk, and then I can hear. You may reply to this message.
Okay.
So, Cal and Nev, it seems like there's some sort of compound up ahead, and maybe the guys. Sorry, Neville. Yes, I'll remember that. So it seems like there's some sort of compound up ahead, and well, Carl is. I think he's waiting for us to move on. So I think we should catch up with him.
Definitely. I don't want to leave my brother on his own for too long.
Let's go and see what we see.
There he
So
is.
we'll move up.
Okay, you want to move up? Who wants to move up first?
I'll go up in the lead.
I shall follow closely behind.
I'd like to be last, if that's okay.
Okay. Well, you're going to be second, but
So fine.
I can put you there. You should be able to see yourself on there.
That's fine.
So
I wave down at the tree. Right.
The first person is obviously For our audience, Carnelian. The second person is Calamity. This is Kin.
There's Josh's bottom.
And this, as always, is Mike.
Wonderful.
Not quite the one I was going to do.
So, where would you like to?
Love you too.
All those dodgy faces you sent me over the past few years. It's nice to get my hand back.
Handsome fellows.
I can't see the flowing logs.
Yeah, right. We want to go there, he said, pointing his arrow to the screen. Just there. Can you see that? Just there. I'm going to go up to the right-hand stump. Or tree, or whatever that's meant to be. And look at the doors.
Yep, 2 double doors. One is open slightly.
I'm going to put my crossbow away and take my sword out.
Okay.
I'll move up with Neville.
Okay.
If anything, I think I'll go deeper in, a bit further north and east into the trees a bit further, so I can watch what happens to these two. Perfect. And I go, Cal, come here.
I gradually move up where Carl was originally. I'll put myself there.
Right. I'll say to Kin, now would be a good time if you have any magic that we would prepare. I think we need to go to the doors and look in.
Well, yeah, I don't need to pray anything. I have these innate abilities, and well, I'm ready to go when you are.
That sounds interesting. You must tell me about that sometime.
Oh yes, we can have a great discourse on the arcane history and the religion of Denia.
At some point, my leading will lead me along the lines of magic, and I would be intrigued to talk to a fellow of the arcane arts.
I should look forward to it. But anyway, the matter at hand, I think we should move in and investigate.
So I'm going to go up to the open door.
Yep. Just out of a quick question, just out of interest, can anyone actually see what's beyond those doors?
Yeah,
It's all black.
Everything.
No, all black for me.
There's rooms. There's a dragon.
The dragon is just for you.
Big pile of treasure.
That's good. So for you, as our YouTube audience, you get to see what they don't. Ha ha.
Oh.
Right, let's go on YouTube quickly.
Right.
Oh, it's like through the keyhole.
Here we go. So who's moving first? Neville?
So I'm going to go up to the open door, whichever left or right it is.
Yep.
And I shall go with him.
I'll put my short sword away.
To the next one. There you go.
Behind, so I can see what he sees, but just a little bit further away. That's it.
I'm going to
Perfect.
pull my
Thank
crossbow out, if that's all right.
Yep. You're in the woods.
With my crossbow.
Your sister's caught you doing that loads of times.
Not go there. There might be children watching this.
I'll move up 1 or 2 squares, so just behind that brown bush thing.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a tree stump north of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to do next?
Well, I'm trying to look into the door, through the open door, see what I can see.
You can't see anything. The room leading in is some kind of, as I mentioned, it looks like a temple on the outside. Actually, you can recognise some of the markings. Some of the markings are to Torm. But other than that, it looks quite deserted. You see bits and pieces of rubble on the floor, floor tiles.
Do I know what sort of people follow Torm? I'll make a religion check.
Do a religion check, yeah.
17.
You do, and if you read up on Torm, you will find out exactly what it's all about.
Thank you very much.
Right, so I can't see any life in there.
Torm is the god of duty and loyalty.
Ooh.
He's a big paladin deity, isn't he?
Yes.
So this appears to be a compound dedicated to Torm, and so what I know of that religion wouldn't indicate that they would be looting other people. They're more likely to help. So I think if the people we are looking for are in here, they may actually be in the act of looting at the moment. So I think we should step inside and put a stop to it.
Or this does look disused, so this could just be a hold up for them to carry out their looting. But yes, let's sally forth, sir. So into the room.
Oh. Well, I don't like the look of that.
You can't see.
No, we can't.
Oh, sorry.
Have they gone in?
There's no one in here, yep. No one in there, David?
No one in there.
So I tell Kin to call the others two up.
I shall gesture them forwards.
Okay, I'll deftly leap down from the tree, and then I'll dash forward and stand behind or next to Kin there. And I'll be gesturing my sister all the time, saying, "Come on, Cal."
I'll nervously follow. Because I'm unsure. I don't like being unsure about stuff.
What is in that room? What's the top right? It's a well, is it, or a table?
Okay, so inside the room, Neville, directly opposite, you see two double doors. To the top right, you see a disused. I never get this word right. I always say brazier.
Brazier.
That's it.
A mark.
Brazier.
A
Like
mark.
Mark.
You see some cracked tiles just in front of the double doors, a big cobweb in the top left corner, and various pieces of rubble, clay pottery, probably stuff that was once hanging on the walls. It's a very small chamber. It's literally one of these things that was, it's been there a very, very long time, clearly now disused for bigger temples, but this would have been something small that would have been here for a long, long time.
Well, I'll go 20 foot in front of me.
These are 5 foot squares.
10 foot in front of me,
Yeah.
sorry. And look at the cracked floor. It's not going to collapse on me or anything.
No, you can investigate it.
I'll investigate it. I've got a 12, and I don't know what my investigation is. It is... Oh, no, don't want that. Don't want that. It is bugger all. A 12.
12. No, you suspect that they're just cracked tiles.
Okay. I'll go and look at the brazier.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I'll go into the room and take a look at the double doors, please.
Okay.
I'll gesture to my sister, and I'll go like, "After you."
I gingerly follow in, but meanwhile I'm checking behind me in case anyone's followed us.
Yeah, and I'll stand at the door as though I'm just about to go in, as it were, yeah. Following my sister, looking behind, basically.
Okay, so Neville, you see on top of the thing is there's a sign carved into the wall, and it says "Offer and pass freely." Now on, what was it? Brazier.
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 Imagine
Brazier.
Imagine
On the
crazier.
Brazier.
If you remember crazier, you'll be
Crazier.
all right.
Brazier. You notice, just kind of balanced, is a dagger. It's got lots of dried blood on it. And there are dried drops of blood going inside the bowl as well.
Maybe one needs to give an offer of blood to enter. A step back from the doors, Kim, just in case something happens.
Okay, I'll take a 5-foot step back and wander over to see what Neville was found.
Do you think that this would be some way of form of opening something with blood?
Do I know of any magics that would be keyed off of sort of a sacrifice or something like that for making an Arcana check?
You can make an Arcana check.
That is a 15.
Yes, you know lots of practices that use blood to power things.
Okay. Since my own magical power actually comes from powered internally, if we like, then there are other magics that are powered in the same way. So it is feasible, although unlike a Temple of Torm, that this door could be locked, and the way to open it would be to offer some blood, as we can observe. So I think it's a good idea to follow suit and try and capture anybody that's inside by surprise, as it were.
Okay, so I take my gauntlet off, and I pick the dagger up, and I put my hand over the bowl, and I just make a small incision and drop a few drops of blood into the bowl.
Okie dokie. Nothing happens.
Oh, well, there you go then. It was worth a try. I take some holy water out, and I pour a few drops of holy water into it.
Nothing happens, and you also take one hit point of damage for slashing
Oh,
damage.
is that deep? But okay.
Yeah. Rambo.
So let's try the doors then.
Yeah. Are the doors locked at all?
Yep. So let's put you up to, sorry, not yep. I mean yep, as in you go up to the doors and you try them. And
can I actually do an investigation check first? You know, I see any obvious locking mechanisms or anything. I'll remember that for next time.
No. So you've said, are the doors locked, which implies before you do that, you have to say, I check or do this or do that. But you didn't. Yep. So I'm going to be harsh and say no. Which then triggers a trap. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
No. 7.
One? 7. Okay, yeah, no. So you go up to the doors and just straight away, even without thinking, just a natural thing of you take hold of, it's a double door, you take over both rings in the pull, and you just pull the doors. Straight away, in that fraction of a second, you realize there's a string that's going up into follow the seam of the door to the ceiling, and as you do that, it triggers the trap. The bricks that have been held into the ceiling just tumble away and hit you. 4. And my first roll. Yay! I get to use my Avernus dice. Because why not? And that's 9 points of damage. Everyone sees these huge not slabs, but huge rocks, small boulders, pummeling him down onto the floor.
Oh, that weren't very clever, was it?
I rush over and I pull him out from under the rubble.
Yep.
And we don't have any potions, do we? That was the other one.
That was the other one.
You had, if you remember your session 0.
I've got antitoxin.
I've got one.
What do we get anything? I can't remember session 0.
I've got one, and I've got my sister as well.
I've got healing words. I can give him a bit of healing words if he's really badly hurt.
How does he look?
Steve, how do you look?
I'm laying on the floor, bloodied and unconscious.
Unconscious?
Okay. Oh, good.
Oh, God.
I think I may need to do a bit of healing word then.
Carl, help him.
I'll rush over. I say me healing words and see what happens.
Okay.
Not a lot. I've got 1d4 plus 3. So that is, I rolled 1d4 plus 3, so that is 4 because I got a 1.
Oh.
So not a lot, I'm sorry. 4 points of healing.
Better than note.
Does that bring him back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I set up for the start. Oh, God, I've got a terrible headache. What hit me?
Not a good start.
Most of the ceiling hit you, I think.
Oh,
I think you got caught in a trap.
yes, I think I may have got a bit overexcited. I'll try not to let that happen again. Thank you for healing me. Who was that?
It was me.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, I'll try not to let that happen again.
that's all right.
Note to self, be more careful next time.
So, do we think the trap is? I mean, the ceiling's just hanging down now. Is it finished? Is it safe to go in?
I would guess so. Yes. And so, did I manage to pull the doors open?
So you're going to try it again?
No. So what I mean is, when I pulled the doors, the ceiling fell in, the door stayed closed.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd rather not try that again. So how about we go over and maybe see if there's any other traps
Can
by
I look at
looking
this
at the door.
brazier? Does this brazier move? Can I see if there's scrapes on the floor or something?
Do an investigation check for me.
18.
Yes. In fact, you notice scratch marks in the floor, and now you're properly having a look. You notice some footprints as well.
Oh.
Is it like going one way or the other?
Yep. If you kind of drag it towards you, they're pulling it south. Drag it towards you. You think that potentially it's hiding something.
I'll do that. I'll pull it towards me.
Okay. So you put it out the way. And if the magic of this thing works,
It vanishes.
Oh.
Door appears.
there is a secret door.
Can I see how it opens?
Yep, looks like you just push it.
I'll look above. No strings attached.
Do a perception or investigation.
I'll do perception because my investigation's crap. And my perception's probably not going to be much better. Oh yeah, 6. So no, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't even see the door.
You don't see much.
I can wander over and have a look if you want, because I'm quite good at perceiving things.
Okay. Carl, you want to do anything? You're outside on your own now.
I'm just watching the door, just seeing if anybody's coming up behind. As soon as anybody heads through there, I'll follow behind.
I got an 11 for perception. I rolled badly.
Okay. You don't spot anything out of the ordinary.
Gosh, it's a very cunning door, isn't it? It's a very elusive door, this one. Who's going to open it?
I'll open it. If Cal gets out of the way, I'll open it.
I'll let you open it then. I'll make way for you. I step back.
I push the door.
Oh.
Shout. I quietly say, "It's stairs going up, down, up, down,
Down.
down. Stairs going down."
You also hear, as soon as you kind of step through, it looks like this chamber was also sort of carved out of the rock, unlike the main temple you've just been in. You hear voices and you hear chanting.
No.
Can I identify how many voices?
More than two.
More than two. So I'll whisper them. There could be more than two, and it's most likely cultists because they're doing a culty thing.
Oh no.
I hate cultists.
Oh God.
I'll head towards the door where Sir Moore is.
I'm whispering to Car, come here, come here. He's hearing voices.
Not the first time.
I think that's all right, Carl, because I can actually hear them too.
Okay.
I think they're there.
Not those voices. I'm talking about real voices. Not the other ones we spoke about earlier.
So I'll stand next to Sir Moore and say, would you like me to go down and listen further? I can sneak if you like.
Well, don't risk anything. Come straight back up if you do see anything.
Well, allow me to cast my spell, and you'll be able to tell us how many are down there while you're still there.
Okay.
We'll be able to hear you, and I'll cast message so that he can reply when he gets downstairs.
So point out for Neville that this room, obviously, there's no light source, so this room is pitch black. However, there is also light, flickering light, coming up from below.
Do we half elves have infravision?
Yep, I can see quite well in the dark.
Oh, no, yes, so can I then.
Yeah. I can't, but I can see flickering light, so I'll head towards that, but I'll go gently down the stairs, and because I saw the ceiling collapse on Kent, I shall be also looking carefully for any obvious booby traps. So I'll be looking at the floor to see if there's anything there for me to trip over. Any marks on the sides of the walls to see if anything's going to shoot out and get me, and also look at the ceiling because that came down and squashed him. And all the time I'm listening.
That's a lot of rolls. Go for it.
It is.
Right.
I'm going to take my crossbow back out.
Do a perception check. What was that,
Right.
Neville?
I'm taking my crossbow back out.
Okay.
No perception check. Natural 20 plus 4, 24.
Fantastic. Yeah, your eyes become accustomed to the dark very, very, very quickly. Based on Neville's description of the very small room and the stairs, and the fact there is light coming up the stairs, you're quite comfortable looking around. You keep your back to the wall. You inspect the floors with every step. By going against the wall, you're feeling that, and also keeping an eye out on the top. You notice, or you find rather, no traps or alarm systems or anything like that.
Okay. And I'll press on to see, and I'll press on until I can see any living person.
Okay. So
All creature. All creature.
All creatures, great and small. Okay, so yeah. I am going to change the map. Everyone will probably see this, I think, but we shall see. No, that's interesting. You've all frozen. So let me unfreeze you, which would be handier.
Oh.
Oh.
I see nothing.
I see something.
I see a wedge.
I see a wedge and oh.
I see that. Oh.
Hopefully that 3 doesn't mean it's 3rd level.
I can see a 4 as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So because I have come into this room, I guess this is what I see. So we'll take, when you describe it to me, I'll take it that I relay it as well as possible to.
Okay. So you go down the staircase is open. It's an open staircase straight away. So you're kind of going down slightly crouched so you can see what's going on. The chamber is very, very well lit. There are 2 bras, one there and one there. And you see what appears to be 5 people standing around an area. There is a person who is bare-chested, who is chained to an altar in the middle.
Is he one of the 5?
Can you see the 5 people on the battle map, Mike?
No, I can only see 3 and 4.
Yeah, me too.
You can only see
same.
person 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's a curve. It's like a
wedge shape.
Okay.
It's because you've got Paul's vision set to 30 feet, I think.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I can't see what you guys can see. So, that's fine. So as you go into the room, it's carved out of the cave. It's a dirt floor, but you can see what appears to be written in blood. There are markings on the floor at various intervals. Underneath the altar, there's a marking in blood, and you see 5 people standing there chanting. 4 of them have pretty much their backs to you. Well, 2 of them have their backs to you. It's a rectangle altar. 2 of them are on either end, but there's a guy standing over the altar, and he's got a curved dagger, and he's carving a symbol into the man's chest, his bare chest, chained to the altar. The guy who's being carved up doesn't scream. It's almost sounds of joy and elation. The man who's doing the carving looks up, though, and sees your legs and sees you kind of bent down and looking. And he says to the others, "Intruders!" We're now going to roll initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Starting with Car, initiative.
I bet I've lost that 20 now, haven't I? Oh, oh, brilliant. 6.
6. Cal,
16.
Kin,
22.
Neville.
15.
Okay, and mine are. Right. Right, so I got 3 and. Oh, that's not good. Right, I'm just going to put these in order while I do this. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Okay.
Does it show up on the map?
No, it won't. So what we're going to do is...
You could do a little thing in front of you to put your cards on. That would work.
Well, actually, as you say that, I have. And again, this is for just the audience at home watching. We have this.
Here's
and
whose house it is.
Yes. Wouldn't you like to know? There you go. Courtesy of Gale Force 9's cards there. Encounter cards. Woohoo! So, back to the game. We have Kin up first, followed by Cal.
Okay, as I currently can't see anyone, and we're using information that's been relayed to us by Cal, from my position in the room upstairs, I'm going to stand where I can see the top of the stairs through the doorway and ready a cantrip called Ray of Frost. And I will hit the first target that I see.
Okay. That's you done. Cal.
I might ready.
One sec. Cal, you're next. Neville, you're following. Cal.
I'd like to ready entangle, please.
Okay, and you're also staying at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Neville, you're next, followed by Car.
Well, can I move to the top of the stairs and look down and prepare, and I will fire the first thing that appears.
Okay.
Unless it's me.
All right. Yes.
Maybe not the first thing.
First enemy that appears at the bottom of the stairs.
First hostile.
Okay.
Thank you.
Car, up to you. Save the day, Car. Save the day.
Attack.
Yes. Well, what I see the baddie shout intruder, and I am going to, because I didn't ready any weapon as such, I'm going to just briefly concentrate for a second, and a gnarly bony growth grows out of my hand, and I'm going to fling it across the room. It's got 60 feet range, so I'm going to do it at enemy number 3, I guess.
Yep. Enemy number 3. Please step up.
Yes.
Can we see the rest of the room yet?
And I fling it across, and it's a Dex save 12 for that person.
Ooh, Dex save 12. Okay. 16. Yes, passed.
Oh, that's right.
You ducks out the way as it shoots past. Pling! Tings off the altar.
Hit or miss.
Ooh.
The shard then explodes, and the target and every creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on another Dex saving throw or take 2d6 piercing damage.
Okay, so it's only going to hit number 3 in terms of explosion. Say that again. Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it's the same again. Dex 12. Anybody within 5 feet.
3.
Oh, lovely.
So how much?
2d6, 8 piercing damage, and I throw it, and I basically leg out of the room, heading back towards my comrades.
Damn cowards. You throw it across. He thinks he's being all cocky by dodging it out of the way, and then it explodes behind him, and it gets him in the back, which pushes him over. Pushes him slightly forward, like that.
Not over.
Yeah. Not like stumble. Okay, my go. And these are bandits, and they can move 30. These are 5-foot squares, and they all draw their weapons and rush to attack. Right, so one of them is going to get in range to attack you.
Well, as soon as he steps on the bottom, I'm holding my action, aren't I? And I'll fire.
So that's number 3 again. So the one you shot in the back, he appears at the bottom of the stairs. So you shoot and fire.
I'll fire at him. 12.
12 hits.
Oh, blimey. doing 7 points damage.
Yep, he takes it. He's again kind of pushed back a step, but he's still alive.
A bit tough then.
Yep.
So he's been hit twice then.
Yep, been hit twice.
Blimey.
Right, that's the end of the first round. Round 2.
So did either me or Cal see them appear, or was it they were just at the bottom of the stairs during that round?
They were just at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kim, you're first. Cal, you're next.
So I've
Yes.
seen
Yeah.
I've seen Carr get to the top of the stairs, and I've seen Neville take a shot down the stairs. I will still remain in the room with the brazier in it, looking through the doorway, and again, I will hold my Ray of Frost action until I see somebody reach the top of the stairs that I can take a shot at, please.
Okay. Right. That's fine. Cal, you're next. Neville, you're up afterwards.
I'd like to get to the top of the stairs and fire entangle at 1 and 2 if possible.
What do we need to do? Is it an instant dexterity check, or do you need to roll?
Strength saving throw of 13.
Do you need to do a spell on that?
I've readied it already, but it's a concentration spell.
Okay, yeah. And so it just happens, yeah?
Yep.
An entangle. What would be nice is to do some kind of spell effects, so I could actually put something
Okay.
on the screen, but I can't do that.
Okay.
A strength check.
13.
Failed and failed. Okay, so there you are, both
Wicked.
entangled at the bottom.
It's a 20-foot radius. I'm not sure if it captures number 4 as well.
In that case, it will. And strength check failed. All 3 of them
Okay.
are entangled at the bottom of the stairs.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well done, young lady.
It's missed. 3 is sort of middle of the stairs. So you've aimed it at the bottom.
Yes,
straight
like
out from there.
casting
Yeah.
down.
Okay, Neville, you're up now. Carl, you're
Can I drop my crossbow and pull my sword and attack?
yes.
I'll do that. I take he's within range.
Yep.
18. That's
18 hits.
doing 9 points of damage.
Yeah, he managed to get to the top of the stairs, and you're standing there meeting and greeting, and it's a deep cut across his chest, and he collapses under that.
Deed.
He's gone. Well done. First kill.
Our first kill.
Would you like to do anything else?
I will go down to the step where
Bottom of the stairs?
Car's character is.
Yeah, well, I'll put you in front. That would be easier.
Hey, we can see what's going on.
Okay. Carl, you're next. Then it's me.
Oh, is that the proper character now?
It is. I was just looking at that. I was like, who's that? Who's just rocked up? So who's entangled at the moment from
Number
what
one.
we can see?
Number 1,
1,
number
2,
two,
and
number
4.
Okay. Right. And from where I am, if I move around, let's say south, hugging the south wall, will I be able to engage in melee combat with that person?
Off the stairs to engage with number 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Do
exactly what I'll do.
Do an athletics check for me, please.
So that is 14, 17.
You leap down, not a problem.
Okay.
He is in range.
Cool. So I'm going to have a jolly old wallop with my sword and with my rapier. 13.
13, yeah.
Cool. So it's a slash. Basically trying to slash him across the throat, if at all possible. And that is 10 points of piercing damage, I think.
You literally, he's completely entangled. He sees you coming in, the look of terror in his eyes as you.
The advantage.
Actually, yes. Well, he's already hit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
might get a 20. Go for it.
Yeah, I will go for it. No, I didn't. Bonus action with the short sword. That's 18 to hit with advantage. Don't get a natural, so 18 to hit. And that's 6 further points of damage.
So you take your time, and with the first, him being completely entangled, you make your first cut. You see his eyes, if it's even possible, to get even wider as you slowly put it into him. And you're a slight grin on your face as well. He dies. But his body remains entangled. But his coat just drips limp.
Cool.
Okay. My go. They're going to 1 and 2 are going to fight against it and do a strength check. Oh, natural 1. 2 natural 1s.
Yes.
Blimey.
Well done, Cal.
I blessed my entangle.
Nice
Druid.
And the guy at the altar doesn't do anything. He just stays where he is.
Is he a bandit, or he's obviously a bandit rather than a cultist?
Well, he's the guy with the big knife.
Oh, he's the boss.
Yeah. If you can see number 5.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so top of the round. You see the guy at the altar, not the one who's chained to it, obviously. The big guy with the big dagger, he's takes a step back and he goes, No, what have you done? You've interrupted it. There's no way to contain it now. And he starts to kind of step back from the altar.
Oh dear, this doesn't sound good.
And you see the topless guy who's chained to the altar. He starts, rather than moans of ecstasy, he starts screaming in pain, and he's shaking his head from side to side. And suddenly, the scene from Alien, you see something push against his chest, and it becomes a point on his chest. And then next to that is 2 more points, slowly as the flesh continues to kind of come out, and something pierces out of his chest. And then you see these 2 other points with a long stick. And it's basically this trident is being forced out of this guy's chest. And these hands and this head, it's an elongated face, almost like a beak with red eyes, and fins and more like spikes on the top of its crown, starts to peel its way out of its chest and kind of claws its way and screams as it gets birthed into our world, and you see this little nasty little beast.
You don't see that very often.
And for our audience at home, that's what they're facing. And go back. There we go. I'm going to roll. Okay.
Maybe it's going to attack Matey, who's the nearest one, if he can't control it. So good on him.
Mm-hmm. Well, we shall find out. Kin, you're first.
Okay, so since everybody else has gone downstairs, I'll move my speed towards stairs and down, and my speed is 35. And then I'll take a pot shot at somebody with Ray of Frost. So if you can put me on the map, and then I can work out who I can get.
Okay. So you trudge down the stairs. You've got two guys entangled at the moment, but you kind of get down to the bottom of the stairs and just kind of leap off a little bit on the left. Can you see yourself now?
I can. So what I think I will do is take a shot, Ray of Frost, at number 5. So Ray of Frost range is 60 feet, so I'm within range. So my eyes begin to glow white, and my hair sort of flows around my head, almost charged with static electricity. And I raise my arm, and a beam of blue energy erupts forth, and I roll a natural 20. So strikes firmly in the chest, and number 5 takes 4 points of damage, unfortunately, because I only rolled a 2. And you see a cold frost spread across whatever they're wearing, and they start to move slower than they were previously. So their speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. This devil thing that rips itself out of the body screeches again, sees the whole kind of crowd where you all are, and then slowly turns behind him and sees the cultist with the dagger, and it's kind of he's got this massive mouth, these extended lips, and it all just turns back into a bit of a snarl, revealing all these jagged teeth. It's only about the size of a dog. It's a full-size person. It's about the size of a dog, and it unfolds these wings, which are also sort of almost barbed, and just springs off of the altar and attacks the. It is a cultist. Attacks the cultist leader. For.
What's the difference in the icons then?
Can you see the icons?
Yeah.
Then they're different. Can you see, so you got the cultist
So
at number 5.
1 and 2 look like cultists, and 5 looks not like a cultist.
So 1 and 2 are bandits.
Oh, they're bandits, are they?
Number 5 is a cultist.
Oh, I see.
Right, hold on. Okay, so he hits, and you just see him sink his teeth, this massive gaping mouth, into the cultist leader, onto his shoulder and down, almost halfway down into his chest. Just bites, and these gushes of blood just explode from him. And he gives out a scream, but he's still standing. He's almost kind of struggling to pull this off of him, but the wings sort of kind of keep beating. Cal, you're up, and Neville, you're next.
I'd like to get quite close to number 2 and breathe a bit of poison spray on it.
Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of put you into a spare space. It's quite difficult to share spaces. So I'll put you there.
There we are.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop a bit of green gas on him and see if it does anything.
Okay. Again, do you need to roll anything?
Constitution saving throw 13, and if you fail, it's 1d12 of damage.
Okay. Natural 1.
Sweet. Oh, that's 8 damage for you.
Damage for number 2. Okay. So you
Oh,
spit.
can I bonus action Shillelagh?
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. Before I forget.
Shillelagh.
Cast Shillelagh cantrip.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. That was Cal's go. Neville, you're next. Carl, you're followed.
Right.
Well, I might as well hit number 2.
You get advantage because he's entangled.
Oh,
still.
good for that, because that was a miss. 13 plus. What's my pluses? 19.
Yep.
And doing plus, what is it? Plus 5, so 9 points.
Okay. Yeah, you ram your sword into him. He's barely hanging on. He's still breathing. He's barely hanging on. He won't take much.
And then I'm going to move, because they can't attack at the moment anyway, can they? They're restrained.
They're all entangled, yeah.
I'm going to move to the left, through everyone to the left of number 1.
There you go. Happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Carl, you're up.
Okay, so obviously I was fairly close, and I saw the creature bursting out. Now, Granny's training means I'm quite good at spotting fiends and things. Do I recognize it?
Do a, what would you do? A religion or history check? Knowledge check.
As far as like my favorite enemy are concerned, it says I have advantage on intelligence checks to recall information about such things.
Oh, bollocks. Oh, damn.
Which is probably just as well. 14.
You do know this is a fiend of some kind. From your teachings, it's used as a scout. They're quite low in terms of intelligence and what they are. They're quite weak devils. They're mostly used summoned for information or information gathering.
Okay.
That's about all you know.
Okay, so I know it's a demon, and I know it's bad. So what I'll do then is I will. Oh, let's see. How far away am I from where I'm standing right now?
They're
Is it
5 foot squares?
It's about 20, isn't it? It's about 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, and the creature is pounced onto.
The creature is pounced on top of 5. So
Yeah.
think he's not in his current position. He is on number 5.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot out a hand, and like a whip of like diseased thorns and vines kind of breaks out of the ground next to me, and I'm going to try to wrap it around the creature and pull it off, because if this succeeds, it'll be dragged 10 feet closer towards me. So hopefully
that doesn't sound a good idea.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get it off the person, because anybody who, and if a demon's attacking it, then I like to be with the person who's, trying to protect us from the demon.
Yeah. He's the one who produced the demon, and they were attacking us.
No, he's the one who's trying to keep it away. 15. We didn't do a great job. 15, 16, 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Okay, so it only does, as far as damage is concerned, it does 4 piercing and 3 necrotic. But then it gets pulled 10 feet closer, I guess in a diagonal line, the same way that we would be.
So
hopefully,
you pull him that way.
yeah.
He also drags the cultist leader with him, kicking and screaming.
I was hoping to clear him off
at the same time.
Oh well.
And how much damage was that? Sorry.
Okay.
How much damage?
It's just, well, it's 7 altogether, 4 and 3. So 3 of piercing and 4 of necrotic.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's all I'll do.
Okie dokie. Right, next up is the bandits. They will do a strength check again. So this is Cal. What do they need to succeed?
13.
13. Okay, I've got a 12 and a 13.
Ah!
So this one is he's going to make a run for it. So he's going to go for the top of the stairs, which gives you an attack of opportunity.
Yes. Would I be able to?
All 3 of us, or just the cow?
Whack him with your club, Cal.
Yep, I've got the club ready. I'd like to clobber him around the head with my club, if that's all right.
Go for it.
So that is D8, because I've got Shillelagh. 7 plus 2, that's 9 damage.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah. That's right, it's right.
Sure?
Yeah, positive.
Okay, he's already pretty badly damaged, and he just flump as you clock him over the back of the head. He goes down.
Yay!
The other bandit is entangled. Then we've got the cultist. The cultist will try to... Cult leader will try to break away and fails. Right, next round. Kin, you're up, followed by me.
Inspired by Car's show of magical ability, I think, well, I can have some of that as well. And again, my eyes glow white, and this time my arm becomes wreathed in electricity, and I cast lightning lure. So that will strike out and hit the devil. So you need to make a strength saving throw with a DC of 15, please.
Nice. Oh, 19.
Oh, curses.
So so I strike out, it hits, but you manage to strength it out, and you don't get pulled towards me.
Okay. So
Who's pulling that devil towards us?
Yep.
So we can kill it.
Okay, so the devil. Now this is something I got on DM's Guild. Enhanced devils. Very much.
So basic ones that aren't hard enough when you first level.
Yep.
Yeah. Fine.
He jumps off of the cultist he's on. Directly in front of you, Kin. And what he does, he kind of like crouches down, the wings come and fold around it and starts to shake. Everyone, all you 3.
Is he doing a poo?
Yeah. Cal, Kin, and Car all make a constitution check, please.
Con save.
Oh, natural 20.
Well done.
17.
17?
Yep.
12.
Oh. Might be a bit unlucky there.
Okay, so all succeed. Well done. So you take half damage, and I rolled a double 1. So as he's shaking, you see the spines just erupt out and go all over the place. You all miraculously, the spines that do hit you barely penetrate the skin, but even this close, you can feel heat coming off of them as well. So not only are they sharp and barbed, they're very, very hot. You all take 1 point of damage.
I take 2, don't I? Because I
No.
failed.
Or you failed, then you take the full. You take 2, and if you failed, then I thought you got a 12.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a fail.
No, 12 was a pass.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Cool.
So there you go. You all take 1 point of damage. Otherwise, something a
Excellent.
lot worse would have happened. But hey. Okay, Cal, you're up. Nev, you're next.
Where am I? Oh, there's not a lot I can do.
Hit him.
Hit it.
Hit it. I'll whack number 1 with my club again, if that's all right. So.
Advantage.
That is so alert to hit is 4 + 2 to hit, so that's 6.
With everything
that's
that's
right.
going on, you swing. It's a swing and a miss.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay. Nev, you're up. Car, you're next.
Right, I'll move to the left of the devil. Do you do advantage if you're what the thing that Alex did get?
Flanking.
Flanking.
You'll get advantage. Plus, he's still entangled anyway.
What, the devil?
Sorry, he's free, but the guys, the number 5 is entangled.
Yeah, but I want to attack the devil. So if I go 1 step south, do I then get advantage for being?
I'll give it to you. Go for it. You want to go there?
Where's Matey? Where's number 5? Is he still on the floor?
Yes, he's kind of behind you, but out of reach.
I'll go 2 steps east. So that he can't then get advantage on me. So then I will attack him with advantage.
Attacking Spine Devil.
The Spine Devil.
Yep, that's what it is, by the way. Spine Devil.
Oh.
So it's a 16 and 20, but not natural.
Yep. Both hits.
Ooh, doing him 13 points. It's silvered sword, so does that?
Yep.
It's not magic, but it is silvered.
How much damage was it?
13.
13 in total, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, good hit. It slices into it, and as it does, because the weapon is silvered, you can feel and see the steam coming off the burn. And it howls. It definitely does not like that. Car, you're up. My go.
Okay. So seeing some more engaged, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try. My weapons are not silvered though; they're just normal, just to see what happens. So first of all, it's the rapier in my main hand.
Mm-hmm.
13, 18 to hit.
18 definitely hits, yeah.
Okay, and that is 1d6. Oh gosh, only 5 with that. 5 points of piercing damage, and short sword, bonus action.
Go for it.
Well, might miss that, so 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's flashing around. It's got its wings out, and you just managed to miss on the second one.
Okay.
Okay. My go. Number 1 is going to struggle. Failed. Got 11. The cultist at the back is going to struggle. He's failed. That's it. Top of the round. Kin, your go.
So the devil moved up next to us. I think on his go he would have to make a save and throw because he's walked into the entangle area.
Yes.
Well, we all have.
No, I've skirted around it.
On the
Remember?
edge.
Right. I will use. I don't want to use my other thing because it will do you lot damage. So I will use shocking grasp instead and make a touch attack.
Ooh.
So again, my eyes glow and my hand becomes wreathed in electricity, and I hit only an 8. So that's a miss.
Again,
He's not wearing metal armor. I'll take it.
you go to reach out, and again, it's all, it's this thing that is hopping around and in pain now. You go to grab it, you've missed. That's all.
Yep.
My go, and right. He didn't like the silver blade, so he's gonna do his 2 attacks against you, Neville.
Come on, punk. Oh, come on, devil, attack me.
Right.
If you're brave enough.
It has it lashes out with its tail twice. 5 misses, 2 misses, and then tries to bite you, and gets a 19, 20, 21.
That hit.
That hits. It manages, even though its giant mouth peels back, it's got really, really sharp teeth, and manages to pierce your shoulder armor for 6 points of biting damage.
Ow.
Cal, you're up. And Nev, you're next.
I'd like to club a number 1 round the head with my club again.
Okay.
There's no poison or anything from the bite or anything?
No, you're good.
7 to hit. Seven?
Yep, you missed.
Ah, damn, again.
Yep.
And he's right next to me.
He's tied up. He's like, oh!
He's dodging.
Would you like to do anything else?
No, I think I can't really move because the entangle thing's right in front of me, so I'm just going to have to stay put for now.
Okay.
I could go around the back later, but yeah.
Neville, you're up.
Right, so...
Carl, you're following.
20 non-natural and... Whoa! 20 natural. Assuming I still got advantage.
Yep.
So, 14 points.
Or you say 14 damage.
14 damage.
14 damage. Let me just check. It does. Yep. How do you want to do it?
Ah!
Hey!
I want to cut his mouth off so as if when he bit me. Right through his face, his mouth comes off.
And he goes down. The top of his head just bounces across the floor.
Ooh.
You still have number 1 and number 5 in the room.
So I will move over to number 5.
Yep. Sort of there.
So that's it. Perfect.
Okay. Carl, you're up.
I've got to skirt around the entanglement area as well, and I'm going to basically join some more over by cultist number 5.
Cultist number 5.
To your collection point, please. And I'm going to see what kind of condition he's in.
He's going to be very dead in a minute.
Yeah, he's okay. He's done a bit of damage. He was, more scared of the devil than you guys.
Okay. And I'm just going to speak to him and say, what have you done? What have you done?
What have we done? What have you done? You interrupted it. He could have killed us all.
That's probably all I can do in 6 seconds, isn't it, really?
You can hit him. You can hit him.
I'm not going to hit him because I think he's not bad.
He's not bad. He just called a bloody devil.
No, he didn't. He tried to stop it coming.
No, he didn't.
It did.
You on drugs or what? Look, there's a ritual, and they were.
Right, so that's the end of my round. I'm not engaging him.
The bandit tries to get. Oh, he's got an 18. Number 1 is unentangled.
Oh no.
Oh no! Help! Help!
Goes to attack. Where's my card? My cards. My cards.
Nice.
And 21. Yeah, that's what we like.
Bandit 5. If you were a dog, what type of dog would you be?
Yeah, 7 points of damage as he finally puts his scimitar into your gut.
Oh no!
It's not nice.
2 points left.
I think it was Carl. You did the lure or something, didn't you? When you got the devil and the cultist wrapped up.
Yeah, I did. I tried to drag the devil off the cultist.
Okay, so is that worn off? Is that a?
Yeah, it's just a one-off action. So yes, it will have entangled and pulled him off, and then kind of vanished the second the spell ends.
Okay, so
it entangled the devil. It didn't entangle the cultist.
So he's standing there, sort of panting in front of you, and he's got his he's holding out his big kind of dagger thing in front of him, and he's the same. You've just ruined what we were trying to do. We were trying to get more information about what's going on, and you interrupting this and killing everyone. You've just spoiled this. This could have gone horribly, horribly wrong. He doesn't make a move to attack. End of the Kin, you're up.
So I've just seen this guy break out and take an almighty swipe at Cal, so I'm going to return the favour and cast Rev Frost in his direction.
Go on, Steve, roll a 1.
So that is 19 and 4 points of cold damage.
Take that.
Cold damage.
And party.
So your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Thank you. Okay.
I'd also like to move, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to back up to the wall south diagonally by 5 feet.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Cal, you're up. Neville, you're next.
I'd like to move away because my hit points are quite low. I'd like to kind of clamber up to the top of the stairs.
Okay, so you...
Just some kind of out of range.
Disengage.
Yeah, disengage, isn't it?
Disengage is what you want to do.
Too late. And as you clamber out the way, he gets an attack of opportunity.
Oh, damn.
Takes a swipe. And 12, 13, 14, 15.
Nope, I'm a class 16, so thank goodness for that.
As you run on all fours, trying to clamber up the stairs.
Saved by 1.
You feel it as well.
Cal.
You feel the blade kind of pass over you and like scramble up. Okay, who's next? Neville.
Whack the fucker. I mean, 19 plus, so 25.
25 hits.
13 points.
13 points of damage. This is number 5.
Contestant number 5.
Yep, he goes down. You just impale him with the sword.
And then I'm going to move over up north and so up just below Calamity, and then just one to the left. and stand in front of him so he can't attack anyone other than me.
Okay. Car, you're up.
Okay, I just saw I just saw him kill the person that I was going to interrogate to find out what was going on, but that's okay. I'll leap over the corpse of that person, noting that the bandit just nearly killed my sister, so I'll move to engage in melee combat, probably down 1 square step. Perfect. So yes. First, I'm going to basically just try and chop his legs from underneath him with the rapier. Let's see, 16.
Oh, yep.
So that is 9 points of damage. Bonus action with the short sword. 11.
11 misses.
Okay.
Oh.
So you cut him quite deeply in the first one, and as he kind of stumbles out of the way, you miss with the second.
Okay.
And my go.
His turn, isn't it?
Yep. So he goes for you, Neville. Oh, got natural 1. There you go.
Definitely not a hit.
No, you you smack back his sword and send it flying off behind him. So he's now standing there unarmed. Kin, your go. Next round.
Okay, I'd like to use lightning lore, please. So I lash out with a whip of lightning from my arm.
Yep.
Wrapping around you, please make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 15.
11.
Okay, so he moves 10 feet towards me, so I'd like to place him in the space directly to my left.
You drag him across the floor.
Drag him across the floor, and he takes D8 damage, which is a 4, so takes 4 points of damage, please.
Okay. You drag him, the 10 foot with the magic lore, and all the way he's just been electrocuted. By the time he reaches you, he's a little bit singed.
Does it trigger opportunity attacks?
No, because I've forced him to move.
Okay.
And he's he doesn't make any effort to kind of get up. He's just who's go next? Cal, you're up, followed by Nev.
I think I'm just gonna move up the stairs a touch more, and that's about it.
Okay, you can still see this is an open staircase, so you can still see into the room. You can see everything that's gone on.
Yeah, I think I'll just sort of in between the stairs and the room, so it'll get too distant. So yeah, kind of still got a vantage point. So
okay,
that'll be me.
Okay, Neville.
Right, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him in a non-lethal sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons I moved him to there was so that you could get advantage from flanking. So I don't know if that applies.
15 and 18. So I do.
Plus he's prone as well.
So only 6 points of damage, non-lethal, to try and knock him out.
With your gloved, your metal gauntlet hand, you whack him and split his jaw, and he falls unconscious and dead from all his previous wounds. He is a goner.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, chaps.
That's it.
Well, that was very great fun, wasn't it? Nice little starter for us.
Yes, I think I might have to have a bit of a lay down and a bit of a...
I'm going to run across to see to my sister.
I'm going to have a look around the room.
Okay, anywhere in particular?
I'm going to look over the crates to the bottom left.
I'll take a look at the altar and try and figure out what they were doing.
Okay, so Kin, you reach the altar. You see the man who was there before. His entire chest cavity has just been ripped open from the inside. There's blood still dripping out. He's long gone. Neville, what you see when you're going through the crates and stuff, you find a little item.
An item.
So covered in tarps and boxes, you find an inventory of weapons and supplies. Potentially, this is Wellham, the smithy's gear.
Excellent.
You also find a small bag containing a potion of healing. And you also find a few other items. So during, we're just going to say that you will search the bodies in the room as what you will normally do. On the cultist, you find this.
Ooh, treasure.
Pieces of 8.
Yeah. So it's a metal disc with a skull embossed with red crystal eyes.
One would assume we'll need that at some point.
Yep. So you find one of them. You also find among the crates and things in a black, kind of like a flute box with black felt interior, is a rose. But the rose, it looks real, but is solid and it feels like it's glass or crystal. Collectively, you find amongst the bodies, the bandits, you find 20 gold pieces. Now, rather than having a banker in this game, we're going to make sure we divvy it up.
Okay.
So you can either give 20 quid to someone, or you can give it out evenly, as evenly as you can.
Well, I say to Calamity, you seem to have healing abilities and stuff, so maybe you should take the potion.
Thank you.
I'll take the coin so I can examine it in more detail if everyone's happy with that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a look. I am a student of religion. Maybe there's some religious iconology we can.
Well, you take the coin. Then, you take the coin.
Well, I'm a little interested in the rose actually.
Well, take the rose. Unless Car wants anything.
No, I'm just checking my sister's all right.
I might have to use this potion of healing on myself.
Well, maybe we can rest up here and gain some hit dice. Short rest.
I'd quite like to take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see how the bandits got the gear there? There must be a horse and cart or something nearby.
Yeah, once you had a proper look as you come out of the old Temple of Torm, somewhere in the bushes you find a small wagon that they've been using to go backwards and forwards with.
Okay, their loot.
Yeah, their loot wagon.
So we'll have a short rest, regain our hit points.
Yep. You have a short rest. Who would? What are we doing? 4 hours or 1 hour? It's 1 hour short rest.
1 hour.
1 hour short rest, yeah.
And then we'll load the carts and then we'll head back.
It's 1 hour. We don't really have. Obviously, you don't need to be on watch, so to speak. But it's an opportunity to talk about your findings, if you would like to.
Ooh, that's good.
Can anyone do detect magic?
Unfortunately not. No, I know quite a lot of history about magic and religion, but I don't have the ability to detect magical items. I do, however, read the language of the devils, the infernal language, and I'm intrigued by what's written on the floor. And I wonder if we can try and puzzle out what they were trying to do.
I noticed that Ken is looking at that, And so I'm going to go across and I'm going to see if I can assist, because I can read Infernal as well.
Funny, we can all read Infernal. That's strange, isn't it? You get a language and it just happens to be Infernal.
Imagine that.
So the map's disappeared, so I can't read it now.
Yep. So the symbols, the arcane symbols or the devil worshipping symbols that were written on the floor in all over the place were not written in Infernal. They are just arcane symbols allowed for summoning and control.
Could I make an Arcana check then? See if I can ascertain, what sort of school they're from, maybe, or divine some of the meaning.
If you want to, yes, go for it.
Nope, that's a natural 1.
I'm going to examine the coin.
Okay. So the coin.
And maybe does it need attunement or just feel? Is there something I can feel about it?
No. If anything, it may be reminiscent of, like a holy symbol, but for the bad guys, possibly. It's quite weighty.
My history of working with the Hell Riders, I wouldn't know anything about it, would I?
No, it's definitely something that's you've seen more recently. Something that keeps kind of popping up, but it's always been dismissed.
Right. What about the rose?
Yep. So the rose is
ascertain what it's made of?
It could be crystal, it could be glass. It feels fragile, but it's definitely not real, but it looks like it's a real flower. So you're sitting there checking out the rose and checking out this symbol.
So my arcane focus is a crystal orb. Can I try and compare the material between the two? See if it's a similar sort of material. Could it be an arcane focus of some sort?
So you go over and have a chat with Neville, and you do that.
Yep. Do you want me to make a roll?
Yep. Just do
an arcana check.
Do an arcana check.
Yeah. That's 20.
It's definitely of some kind. It's definitely created by magic, and it's used as some kind of detection.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll share that knowledge, obviously.
Well, you and Neville are chatting together. The twins are off doing whatever they're doing.
So detection, but is it a form of a rose? Would that lead detection of smells? Detection of flowers?
Is there any religions I'm aware of? Well, okay, I'll ask the question differently. Is this definitely an arcane device rather than a divine device?
This is an arcane device.
Okay.
The rose is an arcane device.
Okay. I think we may need to take this to somebody who has some ability to identify magical items. I know this is from an arcane school, and I know it can detect something, but without the use of magics, we may not be able to find out more.
Sounds sensible.
And you said that was in a lined box, was that right? Like velvet lined box?
Yep.
And are we, so the 20 gold pieces that we found, we taking 5 each? Is that right?
We can do.
Whatever's easier.
Yeah, take 5 each.
Right. How are you doing, Cal?
I feel a bit better now after my short rest, so after my hour rest.
Right.
Got a bit of life back in me.
I go across to Kin and say, "What was that? What was that? The rose thing? What was that?"
It's some sort of arcane device that allows you to detect something, but I'm not sure what it allows you to detect. But it's been created through the use of magic and has some magical ability.
Who has the rose at this point?
Kin might as well have it.
Okay.
I'll take the coin. Kin can have the rose.
So, Kin, as you're looking at the rose and Car walks over to you, it starts to glow.
Oh.
So it begins to glow in Car's presence.
I'll walk over as well. Guys, is that rose is glowing? Why is it glowing? What you done to it?
I don't. And I'll walk back again to see if it goes out, as it were.
Look at me and see if it glows, I say. Maybe it's because he's looking at you.
Okay, I'll turn and look at.
Turn around, close your eyes, and walk through the door, believing it's not there. Right, Steve, what are you doing? So you're holding the rose.
I hold the rose and look towards Neville.
Okay. And Carl, you've walked off.
I've walked backwards. Yeah, I've stepped back.
And Cal, what are you doing?
I'm just sort of observing, so I've walked up to Carl.
Walked up to Carl.
Carl, yes, I'm next, sort of just behind him.
Okay. And Kin is looking at Neville.
Yeah.
Right. So as all this happens at once, the rose dims.
So turn around and look at Car again.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I won't walk closer. I'll just turn and look.
It stays dim.
Okay. So this seems to be detecting your presence, or is maybe giving some indication that you should be using it. And I hand it over.
Okay. So I carefully reach out and take it.
Yeah. The closer you get, you can see the rose is visibly glowing, and as you touch it, it's again feels like glass, looks real, but the touch is glass or crystal, very very rigid, and it continues to glow in your hand.
Carl, do you mind if I hold it a second, see if it does the same?
No, that's fine. And I kind of pass it to my sister and I walk away from it.
And it stays glowing.
Ah. Oh, it seems to like us.
How does that work?
So it only glows for them, not for Kin or me.
So you're both human, aren't you?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. We are, aren't we, Cal?
I think, yeah, last time I checked we were.
Yeah.
So I'm half elf, and Neville
I'm
is half elf. I think a mystery for another time.
Yes, we'll have to find someone who can. There may be someone.
Why would you detect humans? There are lots of us. I don't get that.
It's very strange.
Someone back at the wagons might be able to identify it. Maybe they've heard of it before.
There are no other markings on the rose by looking closely at it. Nothing on the stem or anything.
No, if anything, it looks like a perfectly beautiful natural rose, apart from its touch and the fact it's now glowing.
Glowing.
But it looks like a rose.
Is it worth me doing a nature check to find out more? Or is it kind of like it is what it is? Yeah,
you can do a nature check.
Okay.
It's a rose.
Ooh. That is 15.
It's a rose. Well, look, you know it's not a rose, but it looks like a perfect rose.
Okay.
Does it have a scent?
Ooh.
I know it isn't a rose, but does it have a scent? Because it's magical, it might do.
Sniff, but no scent.
No scent. Ooh. Maybe it's been blessed. A blessed rose.
Right, so 2 things just to point out. One, we're nearly at 11 o'clock. Do you wish to continue a little bit more or leave it there for another week? Or two weeks rather. The other thing is you are all level 2.
Oh,
Blimey, that was quick.
Yay!
I did think it would be quicker, but
what? What did we do
well,
wrong?
that's always that's fine. It just
Be
means everything
cautious.
I've planned we get to play out the next few weeks, so that's fine. I thought you'd get to sort of 4th level pretty quick.
Well, I can play on, but it's whatever.
I'm fine to carry on for a wee while. I don't know about Lauren, you're working, and Steve, are you working from home?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, but I can go on for a little while longer. I'd like to get out of here and get back to the
Yeah.
caravan at least.
So about another half hour, maybe. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, do you want a quick 5-minute comfort break? Go and get a cup of tea or snacks or whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Spend a penny. And back in 5 minutes.
Righto, thank you all.
Oh, see ya.
And for those of you watching from home, here we go.
cart up with the weapons.
Oh no! Did anyone log out when they went?
No.
Oh,
No.
Everyone's
can see
in
that.
different positions now.
Oh, that's weird.
When you turn the video, it does the same as when you turn the video off. So if you stop the video feed, it moves people around, I think.
Oh well. So everyone is now in different positions.
Oh, where are we?
See if I can quickly. So you are supposed to be over there. I'm going to quickly do this on the fly. Who's that one? You are supposed to be over there. There we go. And then you're supposed to be down there. And then you're supposed to be up there. There we go. Everyone should be back in their rightful positions. Apart from Carr, who's going for a power cut as well as isolation.
Sorry.
There we
Is
go.
that an electrical outage?
So you've found Willem's gear. You defeated the bandits who attacked Volis, and you found a few bits and pieces and some treasures and items and things.
And trinkets.
Yep. You want to make it back to the caravan?
Caravan. And drop the weapons off.
Okay, so you take the battered cart that's there. It barely makes the journey all the way, but it takes a little bit longer to get back to where everyone seems to be holding up at this makeshift caravan organised by Dara, this little girl who's there.
I rush over to Binky. How's Binky doing?
He's definitely much better. He's got his appetite back. The wound is there, but it has stopped bleeding. So whatever administrations that Dara is doing, they are working. You see a few more people now as well. Sort of clocking sort of 12, 14 people now, who are all kind of rushing round to gather supplies and items and help more wounded who make their way into the caravan.
So do we see Willem and Godric anywhere?
You do. They're also trying to fix some of the wagons using their tools that they took back. You find Volis as well. Volis is making herself useful, carrying water and bandages to people there.
So I won't ask you, but we because we didn't ask. The bandits were all wearing grey and green robes, weren't they? We'll agree on that this week.
Yeah.
They're bandits or cultists.
And they have grey and green robes.
Grey and green robes.
Cult things.
Willem, Godric, we've taken the bandits down, and they've been vanquished. We found them in an abandoned temple of Tor. They appear to be performing some sort of summoning ritual, and obviously we'll let Dara know this as well. But we've retrieved your weapons and the belongings we believe they stole, but we didn't find any purse, I'm afraid, Volis. But these weapons that we have retrieved, I think we'd be best to hand these out to some of these other helpers, and maybe there's some way for the city to repay you back at some point in the future. Would that be acceptable?
Yes, perfectly fine. Oh, we've lost Cara again.
I'm still here.
It's like you've got a torch or something in the background.
Really shiny teeth.
It's whitening.
So we'll go and see Dara and start handing weapons out, and I'll bring up the summoning ritual and the demon that we fought and defeated.
To Dara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned the bits that you found, and she's quite curious. So you have seen real devils and demons.
Yes, we have.
But this one came out of someone.
It was born out of a bandit, and it came from his stomach, in which he was killed during the ritual.
And he was a man.
He was a man.
Okay. I think it'd be best if we can hand out those weapons. I think we better make sure that everyone is as well protected as they can be. You can see we're trying to get everything ready, and Willem has been very good at trying to fix our wagons. We've got 2 more wagons, and it's we should be ready to be on the move before the end of the day, if all goes well. What we are lacking, though, we have immediate water, we have some fruits and some dried stuff, but we're going to need more for the journey. I know you've just come back, but I've been told that at the mill we'll find some supplies for possibly for the road, if you're willing to go out again.
How far is the mill?
I've been told it's not that far. Goran has mentioned it a few times. There's a wagon over there. There's a small wagon. It's has Ippon Watson is branded onto the side. Ippon is the owner of the mill. Take the wagon, fill it up with as much as you can, and bring it back.
Okie dokie. Since time is short, we'll go.
Yep. Onwards and upwards to the mill.
It's funny because I can see Lauren's camera and Josh's head isn't there.
Just a leg.
I can see his head.
I can see his head as well.
Great bulbous head.
But not
and
on
his foot.
Not on the edit screen. So he looks not exactly like he's playing with himself, but
He's got his phone out.
yeah.
Don't do that. Dave's filming this.
Yeah, so live on Twitch now. You can go and send himself messages. Yep. So it's not long. You follow the road up towards the mill. It's not long before you meet. You bump into 2 people actually. You bump into both Ippon and her pal. Her pal.
Pow pow.
Pow. Ippon is a female halfling, and Pal is a human. Sorry, Ippon is a male halfling. But it looks they've written that wrong. Ippon is a female halfling. Pal is a male. There we go. Male human.
Ah, okay.
And they're coming down the road towards you, and they wave to you. So, oh, you've got my wagon. We've got loads of bits and pieces up at the mill. Why don't we take that and we can go fit it? We've heard about the caravan, and we've been sending people that way. Maybe for the past couple of hours. We're trying to send as many people as we can, but there's one person who refuses to come with us, and he's kind of locked himself up in his home. It's actually just down that road there. His name is Billiam. He's a bit of a strange duck, but we'd rather sort of take him with us if we can.
Would you like us to go and see if we can persuade Billiam to join us?
We've tried as best we can, and Powell sort of speaks up as well, and he goes, "Yeah, he's definitely a bit of an odd duck. He's a bit of a recluse, but he's a poet. He's a writer. He's determined to try to record what the incidents that are going on here."
Da-da, da-da,
It's a sticky note. And he's gone blurry.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, it's made it out of focus.
And we're back.
Again.
YouTube.
Hey, pink! It's pink!
And if you put a pink in the comments below.
What race is Billiam?
Billiam is human, I believe. Yeah.
What profession is he? He's a recluse, but is he?
He's a writer.
Oh, you said he was a writer. Sorry, yeah.
Writer or poet.
So safe to assume he's quite scholarly type of,
So we give it on the cart and ask her to take whatever she can to the caravan, and we'll go down to Billiam.
Yep. Okie dokie.
Not trying to push this along.
Okay. Yep. Yep. It's not long. It's straight down the road, and you come to Billiam's small house. It's nicely secluded, but he's sitting on the porch. He's got a nice glass of lemonade in his rocking chair, and he's busy kind of writing things down in his journal with his quilled pen. But his version is white. Mine's black. His version is white.
So let's talk to Billiam. Say, hello, Billiam. We've been come from Ippon, and she's very concerned about you. We have a group at a caravan just down the road where we're protecting people and trying to get them to the next point of wherever we're going, because we don't know. It was actually told us where we're going. Wherever it is, it's bound to be very safe. Would you kind of please join us? And I will try persuasion if someone would like to help me.
I shall try and help.
I've got +6 persuasion.
I'll assist you.
So being assisted, I've got a 20, not a natural, and a 20, not a natural.
Ah, dear man, yes, it's very good of you. But Ippon, you see, and her pal, they've only just left. I'm sure you must have met them on the road. But I am just a simple poet, wouldn't you know it? And I just want to be here.
But we really think that, well, obviously it didn't persuade him, so go to someone else then.
Why do you want to be here?
Well, this is my home, dear boy, and it is a matter of principle. I'm not like you. I'm not a fey with the sword or smithy's hammer or even a ladle. I'm. What good would I be, honestly? What good would I be?
It's not what good you are. It's just the fact that there are devils walking the earth at the moment.
I'm sure they everything written and recorded This is one of those things which have never happened before at all in
Is
all
there
of
any?
Faerun.
Yeah, well, surely you would like to record what's happening, and the best way to record what's happening is to be there. You won't see a huge amount here, but there's lots of people there who would be able to tell you what they've seen and what they've done. It may be very important that we record what's happening at the moment, and you sound like the perfect person to do that job. You know, it's not an easy job, but you would be the ideal man to actually record everything for posterity.
You've actually got a good point there. Yes, I could get people's accounts, and I could be on the front line. It's better than sitting on the sidelines. But would you protect me in that way?
We certainly would protect you, sir. We're gathering people together, and we've already armed them. We have, water, and now with Ipon's help, we will have food. And obviously there's safety in numbers, but most importantly for a scholar like you could be able to aid our history of what's happened and explain, especially, we can have some long evenings and maybe you could tell tales, and I understand that you could be a poet, and maybe you could give some readings of your poetry for the poor people who are going to be trudging to wherever we're going because we don't know yet.
You know what? I think you've convinced me. If you're willing to protect me and take me out, then I can be on the front lines. However, for this kind of such a journey, I would need some more supplies. And at that moment, you kind of realise that part of his house has suffered a bit of damage in the catastrophe. I need more. Obviously, I need more paper to write on, and particularly potentially some maybe a new journal, and nothing but the best, of course. And there is a place just on the edge of town. Lucky enough, if it's still standing, and then that'll be a good place. But of course, I also need some more quill feathers. Now these can only be found along the river. So you just decided which one you want to go for first. But when you've got them, then I'll certainly come along.
Steve's voting with his feet.
Elturel.
Is that spelled correctly?
Anyone got any preferences?
I have one sheet of paper and some ink. So we'll have to go to the stores and get some more supplies.
We'll do the paper quest first.
Yeah, I think so.
Assuming that's a quest.
Yeah.
Because where there's paper, there may be pens. So we might luck out and fill up on quills at the same time.
Go crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be the right quills.
Like a rhyme and stationery somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Not unless they're sponsoring. Okay. So he explains that the paper is a shop not so far from where you are. It's a shop called the Open Skies, which is it's just basically a bookshop, but they sell various stationery supplies and bits and pieces like that.
Should we head there then?
So before we go, we better find out where the river is. Do we know, or can he tell us, please?
Well, the river's not too far from here, because it's just over there by the mill. It's a water mill.
Okay. So in relation to the paper shop or the river mill, are we closer to the river mill?
Kind of in opposite directions, yes.
Ah, they would be, wouldn't they?
Luckily, you're kind of smack in the middle of them.
Could we split up, or is that dangerous?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
I would say, my dear, although you may be new to this, in all of my readings, they never split the party.
Never split the party.
I'd quite like to see a shop. I don't think we've ever seen a shop.
No, that'd be quite nice.
Shop it is then.
I don't know what.
Okay.
It sounds weird.
Sounds new
So
and fandangled.
we're heading off towards the shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
The open skies.
Okay. So
Open door.
What a lovely name.
not long before you find the shop. there's the shop. There's a few kind of houses and other shops in the area. It's a bit of a mini ghost town. The nearby houses have broken windows and doors. There's various kind of clothing out in the street, as well as all the black ash and the grey ashes everywhere. Broken doors and windows, and all appear to be ransacked. The area is pretty much otherwise deserted. No signs of people, no obvious signs of people. It looks like someone, people left in a hurry. What would you like to do?
Go up to the shop.
Yep. So no one around. Is this a shop on its own, or is there's other shops as well? Yeah.
Yeah, think of it. I picture it as more of that kind of a western.
Thinking that.
Yeah. So you've got a few. Was it like the wooden
entryway?
entryway? Yeah, exactly. So you've got 3 or 4 buildings together, and then across the muddy track, you'd have another kind of set of 2 or 3 buildings. So kind of picture that in your head. And it's a small building. It's about 40 by a 30-foot shop. And as you look in, the door is open, hanging open, and it's in total disarray. There are shelvings being pushed over. There was papers, notebooks, and all kinds of stuff all over the place. However, the biggest feature is in the middle of the room. Is a glowing orb of white light.
The door is open.
The door's open. It's empty
How
inside.
much light is it giving off?
It's still daylight outside. We're in the sort of afternoon sun, but that's being bleaked by all the fog and the mist, and the grey ash that's still raining down. But it's giving off a lot of light. You can clearly see into all. There's no like hidden corners or anything like that.
There's nothing suspicious about the door entrance or the windows or anything like that.
No, the windows some of them been smashed. The door is just open. It doesn't look like it's been kicked open or anything. There's no damage to the actual door, but the door is open.
Could it be like a natural phenomena, or is it like a magical?
If you do an arcane check.
I do. 5, no.
So,
is it giving off any heat or anything?
Not this distance. You've got it's in the middle of a sort of. So it's 20 foot from you. So
okay.
The room is say 40 foot square. Be easier. It's in the middle, and you can't feel it from where you are.
And what sort of diameter is the orb?
Not much. Maybe sort of let's say a basketball size. There you go, football size.
All right.
It's floating just in the middle of the room.
Guess we go in. My suspicion is that it is magical. But we go in. You said that the place has been ransacked, but there are a few notebooks on the floor. Can we pick 1 or 2 of them up and see if they're serviceable?
Yep. They seem to be okay. They've got writing inside them. They're not empty journal books or anything like that.
Did he tell us what we were looking for?
he wanted some papers and a new journal.
Yep, both.
So that's the journal, so we can take that for him.
Is there writing in it though? Wouldn't you want a clean one?
I would have thought so.
Can we hunt around, not getting too near to this orb thing? Can we hunt around?
Just grab what we can to have a look, and if there's a mixture of writing and blank.
Search for paper and a blank journal.
Okay, so you're going to take some time to all kind of have a good search.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so it takes about 20 minutes, and you're each individually searching the room. You're staying away from the orb, and you manage to kind of you find some bits of vellum in drawers behind the counter and stuff like that. Steve, let's say you're by the counter, you see what looks to be a sign. It's a chalkboard sign with a bit of string at the top to hang it up, and it says, "Closed indefinitely due to infernal incidents." And Carnelian, if you're there, if you can hear me,
I can.
you notice that you find bits of torn cloth, similar grey and green colour to the robes that you saw the bandits and cultists wearing.
Okay.
But torn.
Well, just strips of cloth.
Yeah, you just kind of find them near the windows. Is a sort of a back door kind of thing.
So they could, the bandits could have been through here then.
Yeah, the place is definitely ransacked.
Mm. Maybe they needed paper for their summoning.
Is there anything other than paper we find?
Do an investigation check.
Magical items.
Natural 20. Blimey. Which is a natural 20 because that's it for me.
That's it. That's you find you don't find anything untoward, but you do find a spell scroll case, and inside is a spell scroll of protection from energy.
Mm.
Who could use that?
Only me if it's on my spell list.
Can you use scrolls then?
Yeah, but only if it's a spell that I can cast. So I'm just checking.
Will you take that? And nothing else?
No. You also find behind, you're doing a more of a thorough inspection than what whoever ransacked the place has done. Behind one of the drawers, you find a small black pouch. Inside there are various coins, gems. You probably estimate another sort of 20 gold pieces.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you can dish that out as 5 gold pieces each.
Yep.
But during your time in your investigation, you find probably enough pieces of paper and sort of leather so that you could bind it all together in.
So let's head. Do we head back to him, or do we go and try and find this quill thing? Have we got enough information to go to the river to find the quill?
It's near the mill, isn't it? The water mill.
Did he tell us? Did he tell us what to do, or do we have to go back to him?
I think it's
No.
reeds, isn't it? The quill can be made from the reeds at the river.
It was the feathers. The feathers can only
Feathers,
be
that's it.
found. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's some sort of duck.
Swan, maybe.
Yeah.
Or goose. We'll find birds soon enough. What is this orb, though?
So because there are other shops here, I did take detect magic as my first level spell. So do we want to burn that and make a quick search of the rest of this area for anything else that might be useful?
I think it might be worth it in case we miss out on something.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's a good idea.
Okay. So I will cast Detect Magic ritually. So it takes 10 minutes plus 1 round. And then I will look first around the paper shop, and then we'll go to each shop and see if there's anything useful that Detect Magic turns up.
Okay. You spend another sort of half hour going from sort of shop to shop, finding out what you can. It's more of the more kind of looted. People have left in a hurry. Every now and then you find patches of not exactly dried blood, but blood, small amounts. Nothing to instigate that someone's died there or the body's been moved. You don't find any people. There are no people around. You find, again, maybe a handful of coins in total, say 5 gold pieces in total of value, but no other useful items.
Put 4 gold pieces, gives us 11 then.
Okay, so in that case, we'll return before the spell runs out to the paper shop, and I'll spend the remainder. Well, I'll have to cast again if we spend half an hour. But I want to take a more detailed look at the orb and identify what school it's from, what school of magic it is, and see if I can ascertain any other features about it now that I've got Detect Magic.
The orb is definitely magical. It is a magical construct, and as you get closer, or as you start looking at it more intently, you see the energy inside the orb swells up a little bit, and it starts to crackle on the outside. Now, normally, you know that casting Detect Magic would allow you to understand what kind of magic it is, what school of magic. However, this one doesn't, which leads you to believe that this is an unstable element.
Have I ever heard of anything like that before?
Yes, it's usually when magic has gone wrong.
Okay.
What was it originally? Do we know? Is it like a magic globe, or is it just something that's appeared because of what's happened? Can we tell?
Yeah, can I make an Arcana check? Uh, 16.
16. No, you don't know why it's been cast or what it was supposed to be originally.
Okay, but whatever was attempted to be cast has got caught up in some sort of magical maelstrom. It's gone wrong, and this is the after effects. So there are some schools of sorcery, for example, that have wild magical effects that are both unexpected by the caster and completely uncontrollable. So this maybe is something along those lines, or it's just a feature of somebody trying to cast something while something else happened. Maybe this spell was being cast whilst Elturel was disappearing.
And it's not something we could take or use or utilise.
I'm not entirely sure I want to touch it and wouldn't know how to move it by any other means.
Seems like a dangerous after effect.
It's definitely resisting my attempts to try and divine anything else about its nature.
Cal, I really want to touch it.
Don't touch it.
Yeah,
You do yourself an injury.
You always do this.
You always like shiny things.
Spoil my fun. I go around and I just kick something from behind one of the counters. Shall we go and find a duck then?
Let's go and find a duck.
Yeah, let's get Let's get some feathers.
We head to the river.
Okay, so you leave the shop with the orb, and you head off towards the river, towards the mill. You climb down part of the bank towards it's called the Chiontha River, which is quite large. Again, imagine, this isn't a small stream. This is a river, say Thames River. It's a bit of a distance to the other bank. Upon a stretch of land jutting out from the water, even from the riverbank where you are, you can see a number of feathers drifting about on the beach. It's a piece of land, an island about 200 foot long. So sort of directly opposite from where you are. You can quite clearly see some feathers, big white feathers. You've just got to get over the water. Team building, build a raft.
How quickly is the water running?
It's not rapid, but there's definitely a strong current.
Okay.
Can I perceive any wildlife or any creatures in the water?
Go on then.
Go on then.
A crocodile.
What? I'm a bit worried, you see, about what might have eaten the bird that's made all the feathers.
Could be something lurking.
Exactly.
How big are these feathers? Are they like normal size feathers, or are they like
16 plus
Well,
16?
they're big enough that you can see them.
giant duck size feathers? Killer duck.
You've got
Or an owl the size of a bear.
What kind of check am I making here, DM?
So do a perception check, but the island
perception.
is about 6 feet away from where you are.
Perception. That's 20 then. 16 plus
nice.
4. 16 plus 4.
Okay. You don't see any fish as such, or crocodiles, alligators, that kind of thing.
Sharks.
But you do notice there are stones. It's not exactly a stone walkway or stepping stones, but the stones are raised enough just below the water that you could probably make your way across that if you wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my crossbow and fire at one of the stones.
Okay.
Or at least I'm going to move into range. If presumably I'm in range, because obviously it's a...
Yeah, roll to hit.
Yeah. Okay. 13 plus 5, 18.
Ow! You shoot that stone.
Dink.
The bolt disappears into the water. You hear the crack, and you see the bolt float away.
Cool. Looks like normal stones. No lurking things that I can see, anyway.
Does it look like we could jump from stone to stone to get across?
Yeah.
Or just swim.
I'm not swimming. I've got my armour on.
You'd have
There's
to
only
take
one way
it
off.
off.
No, I'm not taking my I'm not taking my armour off, and B, there's only one way I'll swim, and that's down.
I've got a jump spell. If someone wants to, it triples your distance. I could cast that on you.
How far is it?
60 foot.
Oh no, don't even then. I don't think you'll make it somehow. I'm going to try, because I'm quite athletic, I'm going to try and jump across the rocks.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Do we want to, mind you, if it's 60 feet, the rope ain't long enough.
Well, we've got probably more than one rope.
I've got 1 50-foot rope.
I've got 1 50-foot rope, so...
Okay, so if we tie both those together and then if one goes across while the others hold it, maybe, just in case if the water's
could we
running
tie it off in a tree this side, and then one person go across and tie it off in a tree on the other side, and then use that as a guide? Maybe it'll give us advantage when we're trying to jump across.
Yep. Who's the nimblest?
Probably you, Cal.
I could try to leap across. I could do a bit of the hop, skip, and a jump.
Well, I'm +5.
So am I on acrobatics.
Well, you go. Take the rope with you then.
Right.
Do you want me to cast jump on you as well? Just in case.
I don't
I don't think I need that, do I?
No, I
It
wouldn't.
triples your distance in case.
I don't even know why I don't just swim across. Anyway.
Or
go
maybe
on.
swim across and take the rope with you.
Go on, I'll hop, skip, and a. What do you want me to do, DM? Do you want me to do an acrobatics check to see if I'm going to just skip across the stones?
So do an athletics check.
Athletics.
Oh.
15.
You do exactly that. You hop, skip, and a jump all the way across the stones, and you reach the bank.
I'm here, as you can see.
Tie the rope up.
Can't I just hold it?
Or hold it. You'll tie it to a tree this end.
Yeah. I don't know that there's anything to tie it to here. Is there anything to tie it to, DM, over here?
Yep, you got some trees and bits and pieces over there. It's fine.
Oh, there we go then. I'll lash it across here then.
Like
I'll do a round turn with 2 half hitches. All right?
Boy Scout all the way.
There you go.
Right. Let's go. I'll go next. Is it athletics check?
Yep.
Do we get advantage with the rope?
With the rope, you do get advantage.
I need it. It was 12 and an 18.
Yep. Well, the 18 gets you past. That's fine. So you make it across.
Hey.
Your feet are a bit damp, but you kept your armor on. Well done.
Athletics. Okay, I'll go next.
Come on, Ken, you can do it.
12.
12 with advantage.
Yeah, 12.
12 succeeds. You make it across. Perfectly
Yay, there he is.
Last but not least, it's me. Right.
Come on, sis. Try not to fall in.
Oh no. Natural one.
fine.
You have advantage, though.
Oh, to have advantage? Okay, one more. Oh, 11. Plus nothing. That's an 11.
That's still a fail, unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh, no, you see, there's a reason why we call it calamity.
So for whatever reason, you slip off the rock, and the current grabs you, but you get swept into the rocky shore, and you take some damage. You take 3 damage as you get
that's not too bad.
smacked into the rocks.
Could have been worse.
Is she on our side?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Just further down. That's all. You're only about 60 feet down.
That's all right. I'll clamber up and join him slowly.
Yep.
Might have sprained my ankle.
Should
So should we,
bloody cast jump on yourself, shouldn't you? Eh?
can we start collecting feathers then off the beach?
Yep, you see a dozen or so feathers floating around on the beach, somewhere in the tree line. Nice big healthy white feathers.
Can I bonus action laugh at my sister?
Yep.
That's not
Very nice.
That's not very nice, Carl. What did Jenny tell you about teasing me?
That's not nice at all.
Well, you did see her though, didn't she? She went ass over tit in the water.
I'll remember that next time.
Serves you right for putting me in that coma. Right.
Okay, so you have found a dozen feathers. You have
Level
found your-
3.
Same type.
You have found your papers.
Yay.
We
So-
head back to Billiam.
Let's go back.
Okay.
Can we
Athletics
go and
check.
touch that globe now?
So you come last, Car, and then you bring the rope with you.
No problem.
Shall I go
I-
back first then?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Reverse order.
Reverse order.
oh my,
Oh, same score again. That is an 11. So.
oh my. Was that with
Oh, no,
an
not
advantage?
advantage. No.
What
one more.
advantage?
Can somebody help us?
That's a 3 now.
Oh my good God.
She's really asking for it.
It's the same stone. She slips again away, and you take 1 point of damage. However, because of the current, it brings you back to the island again.
Oh no.
Have another go.
Have
We're
another.
going to need to tie you off.
Right. I'll do one more and see what happens. Right. 13. Yes, just 13 because it's 0 for athletics.
13 passes. Well done.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You're dripping, but you made it.
That has improved your smell, if nothing else.
Well, I was due for a bath, so.
18.
Yep. You skip across.
24.
Yep. You fly across in your massive suit of armor.
I'll gather the rope as I come. 17, 18, 19, 21, 22.
Yep. Perfectly fine. You make it across.
What are we doing now? Did you say we're going to go back and touch that globe?
No, we're not going to touch that code. Never.
We're going to go and see Billiam
Damn it.
and see if we got the right stuff for him.
I don't know why we didn't just clock him over the head and bring him with us.
Well, that was the other option.
Would have been a lot quicker.
We got
Although I
Scott.
want to see my sister fall in the river, so
I hope he likes his feathers.
swings and roundabouts.
Sprain my ankle doing that.
Mm.
So we head
Yeah.
back to the Billiam's house.
Show him the finds, the feathers, the papers, the journals.
So as you approach Billiam's house, just as you reach the clearing, you hear the blaring sounds of a horse neighing. So what happens in the direction of Billiam's house? What do you want to do?
Pick up the pace a little bit and make a beeline for his property.
Okay. You see, and you've probably never seen one before, but you see a Pegasus.
Oh.
A
Oh,
winged
Whoa.
horse.
Pegasus feathers.
Yes.
It's got wings, that horse has.
I've
And
never
it's,
seen nothing like that in my life.
Billiam is out on his decks. He's kind of on the floor, scurrying away from the Pegasus, from the horse. And the Pegasus is attacking the porch, the house, the side of the house.
But they're good, aren't they? I rush up because I love a good horse as well. And I say, oh, whoa, 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 and obviously in a friendly sort of way, as least threatening as possible.
You can do a roller animal handling.
I like a bit of animal handling. 17.
Yep. You begin to start calming down the horse. It stops attacking the house. Still not overly confident. It's batting its wings. It's stomping its feet. It's doing, it's definitely angry, and it's it's stomping at the ground, doing all bits and pieces. What do you wish to do?
Put myself between it and Billiam.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't speak. I don't know, will Pegasus speak language, do they?
You can still speak.
I'll say to it, please find wondrous Pegasus. We only wish to take this poor man and take him away to safety.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm good at persuasion. Oh, I am good. 22.
Okay. The horse, again, seems to, it folds up its wings, it stamps less, kind of looks directly at you, bobs its head, and is much calmer.
I bob my head to it and say, if we could just kindly take him, we have meant you no harm, and I'm sure this old man has meant you no harm.
Okay. It takes a few steps back, turns its head around, walks off, and then leaps off into the sky and flies away.
Oh.
And I wanted to ride that. Maybe it would be
I'm going to go across to Billum and say,
pushing my luck a bit much to say. I was about to say, can I have a ride?
I'm going to go across to Billum and say, what was all that about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's always been a bit partial to the feathers. That's always, of course, they're the best feathers, you know. That's all. I do feel.
Where'd you get
guilty
your
about
feathers from?
Well, from
Where'd
the
you get
island.
them from?
From the island. Well,
Well, we didn't pluck them
Really?
from him, did we? So they were only lying on the floor.
Yes, I didn't ask you to kill the beast. I just wanted the feathers. There's plenty of feathers that's laying around. But you know, every now and then, he's angry.
It's got attitude, that Pegasus.
Yes, and just it's what he is. That's all.
Well, is this what you wanted? We show him what we've collected.
Ah, dear boy, it's perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. Just give me a minute. I'll just grab my stuff now, and away we go. It's already half packed anyway. Here we go. Just type that in there and put that in there. That's very nice. Thank you indeed.
And we'll escort him back to the caravan.
Okay.
So while he's packing his stuff, in the front of the journal, before we give it to him, I'm going to write all of our names so that they're spelt correctly, and he's got them for when he writes the history of what happened.
Oh.
on
Great
the
heroes.
day.
Okay. Yep.
You'll probably say, who's written in my journal?
Who's written in my book? Okay, so you escort Billiam. You got the feathers, papers. He's happy about that, and you take him all the way back to the Dara and the caravan. And you are now 3rd level.
Bloody, that was easy, that was, wasn't it?
Whoa. That's not bad. And you did that, Cal, by falling in the river.
I know, it's right good, wasn't it? And our circle of spores.
I was going to say we didn't have to fight anything or take any damage that time, but someone took some damage.
No,
Yeah.
that is all about situations. So here's a situation. What do? You navigated each of them perfectly fine. You weren't greedy. You didn't look around. You were cautious enough not to be stupid. You didn't rush in. You didn't attack a
Didn't touch
Pegasus.
the bloody globe.
Yeah. You were nice to a flying horse. So
Well, they're nice, aren't they, really? So we didn't want to attack it.
so you all did good.
That wouldn't be a good option, attacking a Pegasus. I would be very unhappy about that.
Yeah, I think I might choose Cure Wounds, considering what my sister has been doing recently.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I have got Cure Wounds.
We will leave it there, but we're still getting ready to get the caravan together. But you've done well on your very first session. How did you find? So feedback on the Dungeon Fog map. How did you find that?
Yeah, fine.
It's good. I thought it was
Absolutely
good.
Excellent.
It was nice to have something visual to look at.
Cool, good. And how did you find previous? Because we're all from different tables and different games. Trying to do what I'm trying to do is step back from the storytelling and let you guys tell the story.
We noticed.
Yes. Did you find that better? Worse?
It's tricky.
More convenient.
Tricky. It's nice to have it. Some DMs like to run it, and the people will just join in. But doing it that way, then we have to work together and come up with our own thoughts. But and I like the fact that you say, like, oh, I'm going to go up the stairs and then I'm going to disengage. Now you said you're going to go up the stairs. So I think that's a good idea. I do like that. It's so you have to think about what you're actually going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, good. And anything you'd like to change for next session? Is there anything you want more of, less of?
Yes.
We know we're on a story. Straight away, you're fighting devils.
Yeah, that was a bit scary. I thought we were going to get crunched on that.
I thought I was going to die.
I thought you were going to die.
I was quite a close call. I was like, oh no. I can't die so early.
Wait, you was on 2 health. I was on 3 health. It wasn't looking particularly good.
Yeah, I was on 6 health.
And that was game time. That was just 3.5 hours.
Oh,
we did faff around a bit to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it took a while.
The very first session of every game, there's always a bit slow to start, and there's the slow boil. But now we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Caravan is like your base. Protect it. You get given a mission. You go off. You succeed or fail, and we'll continue like that.
And now 3rd level, we can take a bit more damage, which is quite handy.
Yes, which is good.
It's always tricky 1st level.
We will continue this game in 2 weeks' time. And
we're still doing Alex's, are we?
We're still doing Alex's on this coming next week,
Thursday,
and then in 2 weeks' time we'll be back to this.
Okay.
We'll keep it to the same time for now. While the UK is in isolation, we'll keep doing this. We do this for the audience at home. If you're watching this, we play this game on a Thursday evening, and it's after the NHS clap. Thank you, NHS. Superheroes, superb. And that's it. And we use these fantastic little things called the cards. Now, the audience can see these extra screens at home, while the players can't. We are playing it in Zoom and using Dungeon Fog, so they can see bits and pieces, but they can't see what's behind the doors and behind the rooms. But you can. If we can find out a way to instigate that you could make choices and changes, we will do that as well. But that's, we're trying to cobble this together because we normally prefer to play in person. So this is all new for us. And don't forget, if you would like a chance to win an Eldritch Foundry custom mini, your very own one, basically you'll win a voucher that will unlock in your account. Then all you have to do is in the comments below on YouTube is put in the code word DOOM. And if you do that, we'll pick a winner in 2 weeks' time, right here.
We can't do that.
Yes, you can. It's open to all badgers, even us, even me.
Yeah, but we can't see it because we're playing it.
Well, no, when this goes up to YouTube, leave a comment.
It's not out there yet.
And then it's done. Yeah, this is when it goes on YouTube, then we can start collecting the comments. So as soon as it's on YouTube, Mike, I'll let you know.
The YouTube.
Yeah. The
okay,
YouTube.
go.
But hope you all enjoyed that. That's fantastic. That was good. I did a lot more prep than I needed to. So I can take a few weeks off now because that's all done. And you get to see, if only you was busy playing in person. I mean, look at this. This is like, that's solid. Look how thick that is. Dropped it.
Oh no.
Gold.
So there you go. It's bronze.
You should bite it, Dave. See if it cracks your tooth.
It will do. But it's a lovely little piece, actually. I do enjoy that. And you have that and a rose, and you found a few other bits. You found a potion of healing, a scroll. You found a few items, a little bit of money that you've scraped together. And no banker as well is something I've introduced. I don't want one person hoarding everything. I want to split it so you can do your own shopping when you need to. If you want to chip in together to buy something, that's perfectly fine too. Any last comments?
That we can actually buy something then. That'll be handy. Down the road.
Maybe it's one of those games. When you get to where you're going, maybe you can spend some money. You've just got to get there.
Wherever there is.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks very much for the game. Thanks very much for you at home
Thank
who are
you very
watching.
Thank you very much, DM.
I'll see those of you on Sunday.
Yes.
Righto.
Sunday evening, we'll be there playing another game. We have a few games going on at the moment, which is nice to see. I think Joe is also working on a new game using Tabletop Simulator, which should be fun if we can get it working. But, yeah, cool. Groovy. Right.
Thank you very much, David. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you lot on.
Bye bye.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.